What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to Tour Life. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. And man, did I miss some craziness going down this past weekend. I was in Chattanooga with the family doing a little family vacay and was able to see some of the highlights coming through on the social medias. And it seems like all craziness went down this weekend. Can't wait to hear all about it. We have two guests coming on tonight. Calvin Heimburg will be joining us here shortly. And then we also have the winner himself, Cole Redalen, also joining the show. But before we get into that, Gary, Yuli, how are you guys doing?
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, doing pretty great. The tournament this past weekend went pretty well, other than it was super cold, windy, and rainy, but people endured. So we made it through. We didn't have to stop.
What do you mean? It was too windy?
Yeah, I ran a local event this past weekend, and we had a number of people who endured constant wind, rain, and cold, and they crushed it.
Oh,
we stopped Maple Hill when it was too windy. You remember that, Yuli?
That was crazy. That was so
when like trees were just falling down.
Well, then, yeah, there was.
You had to stop it. You had to stop
there
it.
was. I forgot about the trees.
Trees were falling down. It was a very unsafe situation.
I had just made I was kind of salty because I had just made like a crazy 25-footer on 6 for birdie. 6.
Ooh.
That tough one, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and it was like 70 mile an hour, it seemed like, and
the
my
wind was
disc just like right in, and I'm like, I'm gonna win the tournament. This is crazy.
I was on the top of the hill. I can't remember what hole it is, but it's a par 4, and it's like you throw to like the top of the hill, and then the second shot's like a blind shot down.
Yeah.
9. Yeah. Okay. And it's a tough second shot. And when they do these breaks and stuff during play, they give you they give us like 10 minutes or so, something like that to re-warm up, and you can throw it. I must have thrown that shot so many times because I think I also was throwing it too during the delay because I think that we were allowed to do that. I can't remember, but I must have thrown that shot like 10 or 15 times. Yeah. Just butchered it when it was actually the one that mattered. I was like, I hate that. It's like I might as well not even practiced it, but yeah, no, some crazy stuff went down this past weekend. It sounded like.
Yeah, no, it was a up and down tournament for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan
of what, the craziness or of what actually happened.
What actually happened? Big fan.
Really?
Wow.
Wait, on what? Because I feel like there's multiple different topics here. What are you talking about specifically?
The cancellation of the back 9 was a.
It worked out pretty well for you.
It was a miracle. Well for you. It was a miracle sent from the heavens above. So it moved, all-time skid. All-time skid. I mean, just absolute plummeting.
And, so it moved you from non-cashing to cashing. For those that don't know.
Well, for people who say I wasn't going to cash, that's false. I had basically a birdie on 17 to get me back in the cash. In 18 I play pretty good.
Okay,
so I don't see myself bogeying 18, so I was probably gonna cash. Yes.
Okay.
But last cash is a lot different than 25th place, and it was so funny because here I make jokes about it because not a big fan of what happened myself, and we'll get into that when we talk to Calvin and stuff, whatever. But everybody in my house, I was staying with Ricky and Calvin and a few other players. And so I'm sitting there like in the whole tournament, it didn't benefit anybody more than me. There's no chance. I saw the guy. So I'm on 17 and I threw a dime of a tee shot. Like I'm in the mouth, wide open hyzer to the bucket. Like my sidearm roller went around the corner and I'm still steaming. And I see the marshal walking down the fairway, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I just start laughing, and one of my card mates is like, what? And I'm like, you're about to see. You're about to see. And he's like, 9-hole tournament, boys. And I took my disc, and I held it up like a trophy. And Brad, I don't know what Brad said, but he's like, he said, hey, I had some choice words. And he was like, "That's my dog. 2026 is my year." It was so funny, dude.
Goodness.
Oh
So
man.
that's what I'm talking about as far as that goes. That was it benefits people and it doesn't benefit people. In this case, it definitely benefited me.
Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, I think ultimately we always have to like that first initial bit. You're rooting for yourself. I remember.
Yeah.
I think I've told this story maybe on this podcast, but I remember at GMC one year. I was last card out. There was a cut, so we were already in the cash, but we were the last card out. It was like me, Corey Ellis, and it might have been Colt Montgomery actually. And it was a threesome, and there was really bad weather coming in. And so on the first tee, I kind of asked them, I was like, "You guys cool to play super fast to try to beat the weather, just to get out of here, so we're not playing in the weather, like terrible weather?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine." I played really, really well. And then as soon as we're like tapping out, or I think it was like something close to 18, the weather started coming in and it started getting cold. It started raining. The wind started coming up. And when I finished, all I was thinking about is like, "Ooh, bring the wind." I was like, I was like one of those sorcerer standing on the beach being like, "Come in, make it terrible," because I just want absolute chaos. And I just was seeing myself like jumping past people as everyone was just struggling. And I was like, excellent. And I think ultimately that's what we all think initially is like, but then you start thinking about it, you're like, gosh, that is super, super
it is.
unfortunate for other people out there that have to deal with it.
It definitely is, because I'm sitting before Calvin comes in, and he'll be able to confirm this. I'm sitting, we all have like these chairs lined up, and we're watching basketball. Every person's just salty, and I'm just rubbing it in. I'm like, "Yeah, man, this sucks." Like,
well, let's bring him in. He's in now. Calvin Heimburg joining the show once again on Tour Life. Calvin, first off, thanks for coming on. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for bringing me back on again.
First question. Not sure if you've seen some of the comments on the social media side on some of the posts that you're in. You have a lot of people that are in your corner being like, if Calvin is this invested into something, clearly something is wrong. How does that feel that you kind of have the support of everyone without even them being able to hear kind of, because I couldn't even hear, I listened to some clips. It was very hard to hear exactly what the conversation was, very low. But how does it feel to kind of have that of where you're such an even keel guy that when you are very, very invested in it at something, like that's like the signal to everyone, like something's wrong here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's nice. But I don't know. I think regardless of whether or not I had the public support or not, I think, my opinion's my opinion. I'm not like the most unbiased party, seeing as, I'm trying to trace down a leader, but I think really most of my frustrations with everything just kind of stem from maybe just poor or incoherent communication from things I asked, and then just like even post, everything happening, it's just like some statements don't line up with others, I feel like. It's like if you're like really that worried about safety, and like I get whatever the spectator viewpoint, and let's say I guess I don't understand why things were called so soon, whether or not like, okay, they need to be called to get spectators off. Why not just like delay it? Why are we crowning a champion on hole 9?
So
hole one, I while everyone else on my card was sitting there talking to the marshal about how he was going to run the stopwatch today, I was over there talking to the starter about weather. And I asked him, I was like, how are we playing today? Like, what's the deal? And he was like, you're going to play till you can't anymore. And, that's not really what happened. And, I just feel like ending on hole 9 feels kind of like, it's just too tidy of a number. It's like, oh, we're finishing after 9 holes. It just feels like that was more of a plan earlier than, may have been indicated to us as players.
Do you know what the policy is when it comes to this? Like, is there could they have necessarily just played, like, could you guys have played until you couldn't have played, and then whatever you finished on, that's how many holes would have counted for everyone? Do you know if that's like the policy, or how's
Yeah,
that work?
so yeah, like as far as like rounds not getting fully completed, it's just whatever the card that played the least, it's the amount of holes that they played. So like if we had gone through 14 holes would have counted for everyone.
Okay.
I mean, it seems to me like a lot of what was being told to me was like it's essentially like getting spectators off the course. And after getting messages from Jeff Spring, it doesn't seem like they'll ever make spectators leave the course while play still continues, which that is what it is. But I mean, by the same metric, like they can make everyone leave, and we could have, maybe come back later that day. And, we even have a new rule now, 4.10, that allows us to come back on a Monday, which,
Yeah.
I don't know what the course looked like on Monday. I mean, I didn't drive back out there, but I think, it just feels premature to me to like call it when we are allowed to come back on Monday. And we have till sunset the following day, according to Monday, if the tournament director so chooses, which this just to me feels like it was the perfect chance to use our brand new shiny rule to like if we're not using it now, when are we going to use it?
That's a good point.
Yeah, especially this week, because this upcoming weekend is Waco. So it's not like they're trying to get to another official DGPT tour stop. They're doing a Jomis Pro Series, which doesn't mean that it's any lesser, but this is the perfect week.
It does mean that it is lesser.
Yeah, it's
Lesser,
the perfect week to do this, because A, players are already pretty familiar with the beast. B, they're not traveling to another pro tour event. And C, like you said, Calvin, they have a shiny new rule. That was the most surprising thing to me. Did you hear anyone talking about like, hey, why are we not coming back on Monday?
I had some messages with Jeff Spring, and I don't know. His reasonings weren't necessarily the most specific to me. Um, I can't remember exactly what they said, but it wasn't anything in particular, as much as like he said, like something to do with the LOC. I don't know. I guess to me, it just feels like I don't know exactly everything that needs to go into playing on a Monday, but it's like it's not like we need all the volunteers out there again to go out and play holes. It like if the course is set up, the OB lines are still there, the course can be played, And the way it works is depending on how many players, there's a couple ways it's outlined. But they might only be bringing back 12 players. And like if we only played 9 on Sunday, they bring back the top 12 on Monday, and they basically play the last hole as a separate round compared to the rest of the field. So I don't know. I didn't get a specific reasoning. I think part of it, they thought there might be storms again, but like it all kind of comes down to me. It's like, why are we calling it so early? Like this is like everyone who's competing there at the top, like it's their job to be out there. And we can all stick around on Monday if it means competing for a win.
So one thing you brought up was the communication and how you felt like the communication was lacking. And you also said sometimes it didn't really make sense. I want to ask you this because I was texting Gannon to try to get a sense of what was going on when I was traveling back to Dallas. And one of the things he brought up, and I want to get your take on it, was if this was such a, hey, hole 9, we got to get the players off, we got to get the fans out of here, we got to get everyone off the course. Did they make you guys stick around for autographs?
I guess no one made us, but no one was telling the spectators to leave either. So we all, the tournament ends on hole 9. There's 1 million people out there. We finalize our scores. That's when there's like, Rick Gannon and I are all talking with Christine Jennings about our opinions and trying to figure out why, on hole 8's tee pad, we're told that the tournament's going to be over in 2 holes. But yeah, there's just a ton of people out there and we're just signing autographs. So I kind of had that same point when I was sitting there talking to Christine Jennings as we finished up. I was like, if this is safety, I'm pretty sure I said it to her. I was like, if this is safety, why am I about to sign autographs? Are you going to tell everyone to leave right now? And they didn't do that. So I don't know.
You could have
It does
played.
feel weird.
You could have played maybe 2 more holes with the amount of time that you guys were out there signing autographs. You think, or were you guys?
I
was it
mean,
quick?
probably we probably could have signed. I mean, the amount of time I signed autographs, yes. I mean, it's 2 par threes there, and the hole 10 and 11 are back-to-back par threes that basically exist right around Tournament Central. So those probably could have been played during autographs as well. But I think, like, I don't know. In general, it just seems like they just wanted it to be wrapped up. I don't know exactly why. I mean, one of the messages I got from Jeff Spring said that they felt like enough golf had been played to determine a champion and that they followed the rules and they weren't
Don't like
breaking any rules.
that.
And that is what it is. I get it. Maybe you followed all the rules, but there's also other rules where things could have gone other ways. It just feels weird to me. I don't know.
So a couple
Go,
things
Yuri.
from my perspective is that were a little fishy to me. Is one, the biggest rule that literally I've seen across the board since I've been playing is time gets delayed when lightning strikes around Tournament Central, let's say.
Yeah,
like
10
within
miles or something.
however
I think, like
miles.
that. Yeah.
That's when it stops. Then they evaluate and say, okay, we're done today. Like this is gonna keep coming in, or it's not. There was no lightning strike. So them calling it early was a little bizarre to me because that's typically like the big no. Like lightning, let's get everybody off the course. This is dangerous.
Get in your cars.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Get to the shuttle. We're getting people out of here. Now, I don't know, and I would guess that was imminent, like it was coming in. And so when you do have shuttles, you do have to get the people off the premises before you get a lightning strike, because if it's a lightning strike within 10 miles, it's already too late. It's pretty close to hitting, and we got to get people out of here. So I don't know with that. I do know that the weather didn't get bad for like an hour and a half. Like that's for sure. It didn't get bad for like an hour and a half. The other thing is, as I understand, if the tournament wants you to get done, get the players off, and give the paying customers a chance to get their autographs and whatever, that shouldn't be a slight on the tournament to try to get that done, because those people are what really make the tournament happen, right? So I understand that as well. But we also have the rule that Calvin's talking about where you come back the next day. And it sounds like there's things with that, like the LLC means whatever the company is that is running the whole entire event. They probably have to rent out the park or make sure that nobody's going out there and different things like that. And you have to sign a contract for all of that stuff, which if they don't sign that contract till Monday, then you can't come back Monday unless you get the park rented again. Like that's a real thing. So without really knowing all that stuff, we're just all speculating on what's going on. The big one for me is the lightning strike, because that's when determines like, okay, unsafe, let's get everybody out of here. And that didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it probably took them a long time to get all the people off of that course, though, with the shuttling. And like, if the safety threat was, I mean, like you have to get them out, and I get that. But I guess to me, it's like if that's how we're going to now have to determine our weather delays is now based on how we're going to get people on and off the course, which it makes sense. They're liable for that. I just think they need to be ready to bring us back on a Monday. Like if we're going to have like play stopped well before we normally would based on PDGA rules with or even the Pro Tour generally, I think, has a stricter lightning policy than
Yeah.
the
50 miles.
typical PDGA does. So it's like, which I'm not even sure that lightning struck within like that radius. I just, because like, I mean, I signed autographs, drove back 30 minutes toward Kansas City, and I didn't see lightning until I basically was pulling into the driveway 30 minutes west towards the storm. But
And the storm
Yeah.
was coming, and it did have lightning. So that's like it's not like that wasn't a thing the whole entire day. Like there was a big storm, it was coming, and it ended up being pretty brutal. Like things happened, but it was a long time after. It really
Yeah.
was.
And
I just think I just think it's weird that I don't know. I think like our tournaments here in the past couple years, we've tended to call things rather than just delay them. And we call them so early, and it just always feels like we call it, and then like you go home, and then you're looking outside, and
we've
oh,
had
we could
some
be
tournaments,
playing.
Calvin, where they've called it, and then we went home, and then we would go back out to the course later in the day and practice. There was some
Yeah.
there's been some tournaments where I've done that before on the
Des
same day.
Moines, probably.
Yeah, where it's like they're like, we're done for the day, and then you go out there later in the day, and it's fine, and you're practicing. It's kind of crazy.
We also got to remember, like like just playing devil's advocate is, you can't have something bad happen. You just can't.
Yeah, so
You can't. That
part of it
ends the
too.
tour completely. Like
Let's
somebody
address-
gets
Yeah,
struck
let's
by
address the
lightning, and we're
comments.
all cooked. And
Let-
you
For
want
sure.
you want to wait. You want to put the odds on, like, okay, we're getting people out of here no matter what. Always, that's logical, of course.
Yeah,
So
there's
I
some
know
people.
they're in a situation to where they're trying to make sure that doesn't happen, but also it feels as a player sometimes when we're there and watching what's unfolding, it feels like convenience from time to time. Like, oh, this is convenient. They're done on 9. Now all of a sudden, the course is getting taken down. There's nothing. The people are getting out of here, and we have plenty of time. So that's what's tough. Is it's like you're putting your hands in somebody to where you're having to trust that they're doing it for safety and safety only, because that should be the only reason. Safety only, not out of convenience to get it taken down before the storm comes or whatever. Because the stuff can stay out there till the storm is gone, and then you can take down the course, of course.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's like, where are the priorities? And we won't really ever know, because nobody's going to admit that, even if it's real, right? Nobody's going to be like, because you have this other thing in your back pocket to be like, it's safety. And there's no arguing with that, right?
No.
And I'm not going to argue with that. Like, I'm going to be like, good answer, like, great answer. I can't argue with that. Yeah, get people off the course, make sure they're in the shuttle and go. And so that's, I think, where the players stand. Am I right about that, Calvin? To where it's like, yeah, but
Yeah, for sure. I think ultimately what it comes down to is I don't fault them if they thought something bad's coming and we have however many spectators. We got to get them out, and you got to stop that whenever you think you got to get them out, because I don't know if there's 1 or 2 of those tiny little buses running, and I have no clue where the spectators were parking. Which I get that, but to me, I know they're sitting there looking at the weather all day, and they're probably looking at stuff, from a ton of different sites. They probably know about when it's rolling in. So I feel like when I get to hole 1, they probably already have a good idea that they're only going to play 9 holes. So they should probably tell us that.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, I've talked to other people, and some other people were told that it will likely only finish 9 holes. But when I was up there talking at the starter, I was told I was going to get to play as long as we could. And like, I don't know. So I think there was a little bit of lack of a communication there. And I do feel like, as a player, if you know when the end's in sight, like as a leader, it makes a difference when you're coming down the stretch and you're like, I just got to hold them off 3 more holes or whatever. Like, I don't know. The whole finishing stretch is way different when it's the finish, as opposed to, oh, it's just thrown at you. It's like, oh, you're in a race and you're, a good bit ahead of your competitors. And then all of a sudden they pull the ribbon out right in front of you. Oh, I win. As
Yeah.
opposed to like, the ribbon's a mile down the road and there's 3 dudes behind you that are sprinting to catch you. So I don't know. I felt like there was a lack of communication there. As I said, I don't know like when we're planning on using that new rule that the Pro Tour lobbied for, if this isn't what it's for. And I don't know. I think that's really where the frustration is. And then if it was all safety, then why was everyone not told to go get in line immediately, and why are we signing? Because there just seems to be like incoherent, like actually objectives there.
Well, they
That's
might put priority on that as well. Make sure the spectators get what they came there for. Like I said before, that could be like something like what's 2 extra holes compared to these people, getting what they paid for. I don't know.
I think the big thing for me is like it's a combination definitely of what you guys are saying because like you mentioned this earlier, Yuli, about the lightning thing. I don't necessarily have a problem if a tournament's called for safety, but you need to be able to go, guys, here was our checklist for safety. Everything that was checked off the list, the preparations we made, the communication, all of it came down. Now we have to cancel. And so everyone can go, all right, we did everything that we could do. We checked this rule. This is the thing that happened. And like when you're coming to, like everyone knows when you're coming to Kansas City this time of year, like this is a possibility. So like there has to be a clear delineated set of like rules that are going to be in place of here's how we're going to communicate with the players. Here's how we're going to communicate with the spectators. And here's our checklist. And as these things happen, they trigger these things. And so then if you can go to the players and say, guys, we literally did everything we could. We let you play as long as you could possibly play. There's nothing else we can do. I think it sits a lot better with everybody knowing that all of those boxes were checked as opposed to like you're saying, Calvin, where there's like some messed up communication. You're not quite sure. Some people, because I agree, some people were saying they were told from the starter that we may only get through 9 holes today. You're saying you were told you're going to play as long as you can. Like that's tough. That's tough for players. So I think if you check all the boxes, that's how you get there. But it doesn't seem like a full plan was really, really in place.
Well, you also have to understand like Mother Nature does whatever she wants.
Yeah.
And there have been many instances where there's nothing and then there's awful. Like there isn't even time for somebody to warn us. There's been times when the tornado comes and they're not able to warn a town and then it gets just absolutely bombarded and a lot of people die. That's a real thing that also happens. And if you're the safety manager and that's your job and there's those things that happen, like that's a tough place to be. That's a tough place to live, because like I said, worst case scenario, the worst case is awful. It's way worse than whatever we're dealing with right now. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we can't ask questions and we can't get to the bottom of it because things don't line up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think anyone. I mean, there are some people saying that the spectators are adults, let them make their own decision, which I don't think that's the right way of looking at it, because if something did happen, you better believe that there's potential lawsuit, which, like Yuli said, could just tank the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Also, that's like a terrible PR thing for disc golf as well. So I think we're all in agreement on the safety is the number one. I think that is across the board. I think the thing, and this maybe is what Calvin's point was too. So Calvin, jump on after I say this too. I think the communication and consistency that the Disc Golf Pro Tour has shown from tournament to tournament is the thing that's lacking. I remember when we had, I can't remember her name. Was it Ashley or Abigail? Who was it at the Nashville event that walked off? The Paige Pierce incident. Do you guys remember? Was it Abigail Williams? Is that who it was?
In Nashville.
Shoot, I can't remember who it was, but that whole scenario. And we had a he said, she said, a bunch of people saying different things, a bunch of people from the Disc Golf Pro Tour saying different things. And it's like, it's one of those things where I don't know what's going on with the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's almost like sometimes they need to like all corroborate their own story. So they're all saying the same stuff, because the starter should not be telling Calvin something different and someone else should not be saying something different. Like it needs to be all one voice. And also we all have phones. They force us to all have these phones. So why couldn't they just send a text message out to everyone saying, hey, really good chance that you guys are only playing 9 holes.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the round. Is that something that you're kind of seeing too, Calvin? Is the consistency and the communication is like the biggest thing that's lacking right now between the tour and players?
I mean, not in general, but maybe at times. I don't know. I get there's a lot of moving pieces in an actual event, and it can be tough. But like when you talk to other people that teed off before you and they heard it might be 9 holes and you explicitly ask a question at the starter and you get a different answer. That it does kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean we're seeing it with marshals too. Like some marshals are making calls, some marshals aren't. Some marshals don't even know the rules. It seems like there's just right now that's kind of something that's happening, and I think that kind of solves a lot of the problem. Is even if they did make the wrong decision, let's just say, but if everyone was agreeant on it and everyone was saying this is what we're doing, this is our policy, this is what we're because right now I'm not even seeing it from tournament to tournament. Right. Some tournaments they handle it differently where they're like, we'll wait for the lightning to come in. I mean, I remember, was it Deglo one year where they tried, you guys probably weren't affected by this because you were probably playing later in the day, but they called us out like 3 or 4 times. They would delay it for 30 minutes, then we would go out and then they delay it again.
Yeah.
There was never this moment of like, guys, storms all day. Let's just cancel it today. So it just seems like it's not consistent from tournament to tournament. And that's a big issue. Is like just make it consistent.
Yeah, I think with this one is like it wasn't just lightning. They were concerned with like bigger, badder storms, like, possible tornadoes or whatever.
Sure.
And like I get the whole getting everyone off site for that. I just don't get why we called the tournament. That's really my thing. It's like if you want the story to be consistent, it's like it's for safety. Let's get everyone out of there. Which, if that's the story, no one should be signing autographs.
Yep.
Don't call the tournament. If the weather clears up, it's like, okay, we can come back and play some more holes. You obviously wouldn't have spectators there, but post it up on YouTube for free. You have your media team out there, be like, hey, the live coverage is going to be free for the rest of the event because we obviously sold tickets to this and you're not able to watch in person anymore. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the whole call it early thing, which is more common now.
Let's shift a little bit and talk about, now that it's happened, let's talk a little bit about like, could there have been things that were done differently to get a different outcome? So I have some questions. Yuli, Calvin, you guys were on the grounds there playing. I want to hear your guys' answers to this. First one is they know that bad weather is coming, right? This was something I believe they talked about earlier in the week that they were monitoring, that this was a real issue. My question to you is, had they knew this was coming, had they discussed this with you guys on Friday, hey guys, or leading into Friday, let's say Thursday, hey guys, looks like weather could be bad on Sunday. We're going to try to get in as much disc golf as we can Friday and Saturday to make sure we get 3 completed rounds. That, because I'm assuming, Calvin, you guys didn't play Friday and Saturday to dusk. Like it wasn't dark out when you were tapping out on 18. Could you have played more?
It was getting there.
You couldn't have played more holes?
You technically could, but I don't know like how you'd work the whole logistics on that because like I think sunset out there is probably around like 8 p.m. and I want to say after signing autographs, I'm generally leaving that course if I'm on the last card, maybe around 7.
Okay. So bad idea. Okay, so scratch that. We're not playing extra holes on Friday or Saturday. Next thing, potential. They decided to cut some of the field for MPO. Could they have cut some of the FPO field as well to get people out in the course sooner? Would that be an option that should have been maybe factored in?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, how big's the FPO field? Like 50-ish?
They would have cut. Yeah, they would have cut probably like 5 or 6 cards. So would have
if it's only 50 people and you do the same 30% cut, you're looking at 4 cards.
So it's like close to an hour.
40 people. It was 40 people this event.
40 people. So it's even less. So you're cutting 3 cards.
So maybe you cut cash line potentially.
But then at that point, why wouldn't you just cut cash line for the dudes too?
Maybe you could have done both. Cash line for both.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting that they did 70% instead of the cash line. But I think honestly, all these ideas, who cares? It comes down to this. They could have told us when we got there on the day, hey, 9 holes today, guys.
Sure.
And then
I'm
no-
throwing
and
out
then-
options.
and
I'm throwing
yeah.
out options for future things because the other question is what time did FPO tee off on Sunday? First card. What was the first card out?
I don't know, probably early.
Probably early. They're generally out there early. I don't know if you
I
can.
think it was
tee off.
I think it was after 7. And sunrise is 6:20, I believe. So again, if it's like, hey, we are all hands on deck, we need to get people out. Also, the other question is why not have FPO go off on 1 and there's people are saying 8:00 was first tee off time for FPO.
Go
So
1
that's
and 10.
that's almost 2 hours right there. If you move FPO to 6:20, yeah, it sucks, but again, we're trying to get disc golf in. So
it was 8:00.
could you all? So that's 2 hours right there, roughly. Also have FPO go off on 1 and 10, and have MPO go off on 1 and 10.
Yeah, or just
So
shotgun
now-
start the whole thing.
So now you, I just feel like there's a lot of ways that you can get around. Not maybe you can, because like Yuli said, weather is weather. But when you're focusing on a tournament, and the number one thing outside of safety is we got to get this tournament finished and complete. I'm just curious why these were never considered. Like, is it because people don't want to wake up and have to get out there at 6:20? Like staff, like they don't want. Same thing with your Monday rule, Calvin. Is it because people don't want to work on Monday after working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I don't think it's that. I think it has to do with contracts and the different ways they construct the tournament process with the park and everything.
You think it was going to be really expensive to get the park on Monday?
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm just saying.
Because I think this is different at Portland, right? I think we all agree if this is Glendoveer, this is a completely different scenario. You can't play Glendoveer on Monday.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to feel like they were able to get the park for this one.
You're not renting
out.
out.
We're just speculating, and I don't know. It's just like
you don't agree with me. You don't agree like renting out a golf course on Monday is completely different.
No, I do. Of course, like that's
disc golf
obviously logical. I'm saying this whole conversation is just speculation on reasons or whatever, and we would need to probably get somebody from the Pro Tour to come and tell us exactly why. Otherwise, our ideas and everything are all great, but.
Well, isn't it bad that no one can come up with a reason why they didn't do these things?
I mean, we did. The weather was coming in quick.
No. Why didn't they tee off at 6:20? Why didn't they have people go off on 1 and 10?
Well, to be honest with you, looking at the weather, it didn't look like maybe it was even coming. And then they cut tee times quickly to where Christine Jennings was running around the practice area asking everybody, saying, "Hey, we're moving up tee times right now. Confirm your tee time," like to every single group.
Again, that just seems like that's poor management. Why wouldn't they just err on the side of caution and do that?
This is for sure. The weather changed big time. The day before, it said literally that the weather might not come in. Then, as the evening approached, the weather was supposed to come around. What was it, like 7 o'clock? I think it was supposed to come around 7 o'clock, which would have given everybody pretty much time to get everything in. And then by the morning, it was creeping in, and that's when they changed tee times again. So they did do those things. They did cut the field, make sure that they thought that we had enough time, and then they moved up tee times again. So what I'm saying is they were being proactive the whole entire day. It just didn't, like, this storm moved in really quick, and then it didn't move in at all. So
I think they were more reactive than proactive, though.
That could be true. Yeah. I could understand that for sure.
Calvin, question to you. Had you had your tee time moved up, had you had people teeing off on 1 and 10, let's say, and then you play all day Sunday and there's no bad weather at all, and you're like, what the heck? Why did we have to move our tee times up? Why did we have a cut? Like, I just feel like that's way not a big as an issue as how it handled out of where the tournament ended at 9 holes.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would always want to complete the tournament. I think you'd have less issues there, but I don't know. I still am not sure about all the logistics because like FPO is on the course until pretty late. Like I mean, it's like we couldn't just have people teeing on 1 and 10 until like I don't know. Like when did the FPO playoff happen? Like that was like
Mm.
I feel like I might have already been at the course warming up. So like that had to have been like afternoon.
Well, if you go basically, if you have people tee off on 1 and 10 and you start them at 6:20 and you said there's 40 people, that's 10 cards. So that means 5 cards would have to go off at starting at 6:20 on hole 10. So everyone would be teeing off on hole 10. So 5 cards, 50 minutes, let's say. Let's give it an hour. Everyone would be teeing off on hole 10 for FPO at 7:20. And let's give them an hour and a half because it looked like rounds were finishing less than 3 hours out there. So an hour and a half at the person. So that means cards could have started teeing off at 8:50 on MPO side, hole 1. You could have had cards starting to tee off at hole 1 at 8:50 in the morning. Versus what time did cards start teeing off at for MPO?
I'm not
10:09.
sure.
What time?
10:09.
Yeah, so that would have gave you an extra hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't know.
Question, Calvin, though. So let us know, what was it like on hole 8 learning? Like, was that just the worst feeling in the world, being like, well, I'm down by this many, it's over?
Yeah,
Or
the
was
tournament
there-
was over. I mean,
Yeah.
like at that point, I was down 3 strokes, so like I'm not getting 3 strokes back on those 2 holes. Like it would take, I don't know, pretty catastrophic meltdown. I feel like to lose 3 on 8, 9, and like we didn't really even have clarification on exactly. Like he said it, I think when we got to the tee pad, but it wasn't like. I mean, when they gave the number 9, I was pretty sure, but like. Cole was asking like, does 9 mean like that's the end of the tournament? And like as we're walking down the fairway of 8, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, at that point, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
I think Ricky was the closest to him, maybe 2 back, and he had just like hit a tree on that tee shot, so he was pretty much out of it too. So, I mean, the tournament was basically wrapped up there. Like, it sucks. I mean, especially when you're looking at your radar as a player and you're like, I feel like we can play more. But I mean, yeah, our opinion is also based on the fact that I can walk off and leave the course almost instantly because my car is sitting right there up at Tournament Central. But yeah, it sucked. I mean, it pretty much deflated the card. I mean,
How did
you
you
know the
feel?
tournament's over and you just have to complete the last 2 holes.
So this is the second time it's like really affected you, I believe. How did it feel when you won, or it was a co-champion with Ricky at Ledgestone? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I don't know. It's not like a win like I'll talk about because there was no like winning moment,
Yeah.
Like that one's almost even worse because like, we went out there and like I think we played a few holes that final day, but we didn't get through like the minimum holes for anything to count or something like that. And that might be 9. That might be why they just stopped us at 9. I don't know the exact rules on that, but I don't know. It's just like you get a call later that evening. They're like, the tournament's over. You won. And you're like, I guess that's cool, but it doesn't feel like any other tournament because you didn't go out there. You didn't go to bed with the lead and then wake up the next morning and then play to defend the lead. Or you didn't go to bed knowing, oh, I need to chase down whoever by 3 strokes. I mean, it doesn't feel like, obviously, there's a winner. I battled Ricky for the trophy and I have the trophy, but it's probably
Did you really? You won the trophy?
Yep. I won the trophy the next week at Idlewild.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you won then. You're the champ.
Yeah, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
it wasn't battled out there, and
Yeah.
it doesn't feel the same, I guess I would say.
Hmm.
Like I'm sure Cole will look at this win as a lesser achievement as like his Maple Hill or Ledgestone wins in the past. Like those are going to be much brighter moments for him looking back on his career than
Yeah.
you know, going out and winning on hole 9 in Kansas City, which, you know, still he played the best golf. You know, he threw the least amount of shots in the amount of golf we had. So props to him for that. But just like my experience, you know, getting a weather delay win, it does not feel the same as,
Right.
you know, playing out the full thing.
Yeah. I think it's, I mean, all in all, it's just a sucky situation. But
Yeah, I mean, there's no like, yeah, I like it's not like like Cole, he won, but it's probably doesn't feel as good to him. You know, everyone who was behind him doesn't feel great. The people that were shredding the back 9, you know, they feel bad. The only people smiling, you know, were people like old Paul over there.
Yeah.
Walking into the house with a
It
big
felt
old
so-
grin.
It felt so bad, dude. You don't get it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it felt so bad.
okay, I want your
a
take
shame.
on I want your take on this, Calvin, because I saw a Facebook post from a player, and I kind of skimmed through it, and I usually would be on a completely. I would usually have a completely different take than the one I currently have, and maybe that's just growth. I don't know, but what is your thoughts on? Oh, here we go. If a TD has to cancel during the final round, the round score should be calculated by reducing to the common holes completed by all competitors per division, as long as at least 9 holes were. Okay, there you go. So
Yeah.
9 holes have to be completed. What are your thoughts on players that signed up to play this event, a 3-day event, and after playing 2 rounds, getting notified that a new cut that wasn't going to happen before the tournament, before they, you know, when they signed up, is now installed, and they are not playing the 3rd round? What is your thoughts on players that are upset about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it sucks, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that person's shoes, like to go out, sign up for a pro tour, make the trip out there. Like this is like kind of like my weekend warrior trip. Like this isn't my actual job. I wouldn't want to go out there and then not be allowed to play the final day. That would obviously suck. But I think, you know, there's been precedent before this. Like that's always been an option. This isn't the first time they've cut fields to try to avoid weather. Like that's always, you know, been a possibility. And I think it does ultimately kind of come down to like, I think like the pro tour's job, you know, is to like give the fans kind of what they want. And ultimately that is kind of the top handful of cards, you know, at any given event. It doesn't even matter who's on them, but it's like their product is showing people throwing the best shots that weekend and then crowning the champion. So, you know, it sucks, but I think like I can sympathize with them, but like I think it's just like something that could happen. Like I don't think it's like something that, you know, is really like out of the blue, because I think it's happened before. So I wouldn't be like surprised that it happened.
So 2 follow-up questions. One, is there some sort of policy out there that Disc Golf Pro Tour has of, hey, when bad weather happens, these are the steps that we're going to follow? So that way everyone knows when they're signing up for a tournament what they're signing up for. Or is it more vague of like, we're going to do stuff?
I'm not sure. I don't think it would be a pro tour policy. It's likely that it would be somewhere in the PDJ rulebook.
PDJ, yeah.
The PDJ likely has some kind of rule where you're allowed to make cuts in order to. I mean, you're allowed to make cuts. I don't know the exact rules when it comes to cuts. I don't know if they have to be announced beforehand. Well, obviously they don't have to be announced beforehand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are cuts at certain events. I don't know what the rules surrounding them are.
Because I think that would be helpful if you're signing up and like there's a lay of the land of like, this is the first thing that's going to happen. This is the second thing. This is the third. You'd still sympathize with those people, but you'd be like, hey, you signed up and you knew this was a possibility, versus what we've talked about here before. We've also played tournaments where they've handled weather differently. And so it's not every tournament's the same. And then the second follow-up question to that is, should the Disc Golf Pro Tour do anything, right? Like, should they do anything for those players? Because again, oh, here we go. The field may be okay. So reduction of field size. The field may be reduced for semifinals or finals at the discretion of the TD, provided that the cut line, either as a percentage of or number of places, is announced prior to opening player registration for the event. The only exception may be due to the PDJ mid-event suspension and cancellation policy being invoked to finish an event, or as outlined as 603.
So that's like weather delays essentially. They're allowed to do it for weather.
Correct. That just opens it up. So it is something that I guess it is in the rules of this is a possibility.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. Second, though, is should the Disc Golf Pro Tour do anything for these players? Like you said, this could be someone could have saved up a lot of money to sign, and I get it. It's your job, right? It's Yuli's job to go out there and compete. But we don't have right now entire fields of people that are doing this for a job. There are people that are signing up for these events as like, this is a once in a lifetime thing for them.
Yeah.
Should we care about those people, or should we just say, sorry, we'll take your money. We didn't give you everything we were going to say we gave you because of the weather. Too bad.
Yeah. I guess that's tough. I mean, I don't know what you would give them is the thing. Like the only thing I can think of that you would give them as a consolation would be like maybe you get priority registration the following year or something, whether it be at that same event or whatnot. Like maybe because I know like it's like you have your tour card holders that fill up initial spots, and then like there's tiered based registration based on rating, and like maybe you give them like priority first tier registration the following year or something, regardless of their rating. But like, I don't know. Other than that, like, it feels because like it's not like obviously like you're going out there and you're playing the tournament and that's an experience. But ultimately, when you sign up for the tournament, it's you're basically betting on yourself and putting it in a prize pool. So it's like it doesn't really make sense to like pull it out of the prize pool because I don't know when it comes to basically competition and like it's basically a form of gambling on yourself, I feel like. So it's like it would be weird to be like, oh, you didn't play the final round when you were already playing not great. I'm going to give you back 33% of your entry because you didn't play the final round.
What it comes down to is it's part of the rules. End of story.
Yeah.
It's just part of the rules. It's in the rule book. That's the way that it is. It's part of the rules. It's a big, giant rule book. You're signing up for this thing. If you don't know the rules, then you don't know the rules.
Do you like the rules though?
I do. Yeah.
That's more the question. It's not.
That's a fine rule. If you don't play good enough to.
No. I'm saying, do you not that? I'm saying, do you like the policy of you sign up for a tournament? It's supposed to. You sign up for a 3-day tournament. The last day they changed the rules mid tournament, and you're no longer playing the final day when you were expecting to play the final day. Too bad. That's the policy. Do you like that policy? Do you like that policy?
Yeah.
They knew they were signing up for an event in Kansas City at this time of year.
Yeah, I do. I do like that policy.
I don't think they really veered from any rules. It's just it's unfortunate for the people that were below that 30% cut line. I mean, it's like just like to take it away from the pro tour. Like anytime there's like let's say I'm playing a tournament in the summer in Florida and crazy storms rolling on a Sunday and nothing happens. No play happens on Sunday. They don't refund everybody half the event, you know.
But other sports do. And so that's the only thing that I question is that a policy that maybe disc golf needs to look at? Do we care? Do we care about trying to we don't care about those people. Screw those people.
That could be us. That could be me. That could be Calvin. And I'm telling you, I don't care if I'm there. Like those people have been me. I've been cut before because of weather, and it's 100% fine. I didn't play good enough. I'm 100% fine with it.
But I think I'm try to get out of your I do this for a job for a second, because I think we're talking more about, and again, this is where it's like, do we not care about the players that are entering into the tournament that aren't necessarily there to try to cash, right?
Well, it's not care or not. It's written in the rules. I'm fine with that rule. Like, doesn't matter if I do it for a job or if it's my weekend hobby. I signed up for this tournament, and in that tournament, this is the rules that I signed up for. Just because I don't care and somebody else really cares, we're still having to deal with the same rule. That doesn't matter. That
Yeah,
doesn't.
I guess my only issue is like you're paying for a product, and that like that's how I'm viewing it, is like you're paying for a product.
You're not paying for a product.
It's
You're
not a
paying to
product.
compete. You're putting your entry fee to beat Gannonburg.
Well,
It's
well,
a silly investment to begin.
Not
with.
everyone is doing that though, Yuli. That's what my point is. That
Yeah,
right now
yes,
on the
they're
Pro
paying
Tour,
for
not
an
everyone is doing.
experience, which means in the rule book they're paying for an experience that might get cut short. That they sign up beforehand, understanding that they have to.
I guess I guess I'm unfamiliar. Like you said, there are sports that do have some kind of.
Well, I mean, I just signed up for a race, and the race got it's very similar to this. I signed up for a race. The weather was rolling in. They didn't think they'd be able to do the entire race, so they cut it to a shorter race. We did the shorter race. Right afterwards, we all got an email with a code to be able to sign up for free to another future race. Because how's that not the same, Gary? Gary, how's that not the same?
Did your fees go towards the winning pot? Like,
I don't know what my fees went towards. There was money to be won though from the first couple. How's that not the same thing? I paid. I could have made money.
In the rules, does it say? I
don't know what the rules are saying.
Well,
I'm just saying.
That's my point. We're signing.
I know. What I'm saying is there's other ways of doing. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying the way that was handled is not what the way it was handled is what the rules say. I'm not arguing.
No,
that. I'm arguing. Should it be that way?
No,
that's all I'm saying.
No, that's a silly.
We don't.
Way.
Yeah, we don't care. Okay, so if you're a trash player and you're adding your cash to the purse, we don't care. We don't really care, is what we're saying.
We don't really care. What do you? It's like
if someone saved up,
you're like flipping it and trying to make it into a negative, and it just is.
No, I'm just saying. If I'm trying to put myself into those person's shoes of someone saved up $1,000 to get a hotel room, to drive there for however many nights, to play 3 rounds. And then that Saturday night, they get an email saying you're not playing tomorrow. I'm trying to put myself into that person's shoes. That's all I'm trying to do.
That's not a real thing. Like, you have to qualify to get a spot. You have to earn your spot. You either do that with your rating by playing beforehand. It's not like I'm like some guy who doesn't do this at all, and I'm like, I think I'll sign up for a pro tour this weekend so I can have a vacation and go out there and do this thing, and then I head out there. That's like,
I guess I'm looking at it the wrong. I'm looking at it from like, as these people are paying
they're
money.
all professionals. They're all professionals.
That's where I think I kind of disagree. I think you're a professional disc golfer if you're doing it for a job. I don't think you're a professional disc golfer if you have a full-time job and this is something that you just do.
But you would be wrong.
Then you shouldn't.
If you play for money and you get money, you can be a low-end professional. You're playing for money.
So you're a professional poker player?
If you win money.
No, I'm asking you, are you a professional poker player? You would tell people you're a professional poker player because you've gone to casinos, you've played poker, you've won money. You would never say that to anyone, Yuli. That's my whole point. Is there's a lot of people
I would if I went to the World Series of Poker.
No, I'm saying you have already done that.
I entered the World Series of Poker and I won money on the big tour.
I'm saying you have already done that. You have already won money.
I'm telling you, I'm answering your question with exactly what you're saying. And I went to the World Series circuit of poker and I won money. Yes, I would be a professional poker player unless I denied the cash. 100%. We're not talking about a C tier. We're not talking about a B tier. We're not even talking about an A tier. We're definitely not talking about amateurs. We're talking about the pro tour where you have to qualify, get a tour card to make it to the thing, or Monday qualify. Or if not, those guys don't sign up, then if your rating's high enough, then you can get into the tournament and you know those things. That's not the same thing. You're dumbing it down to here when it's not there.
There's just a lot of people that sign up for pro tour events that are not pros.
That's not true.
pros in the technical sense of
I
what the
would say-
PGA considers pros,
I
but not
guess-
actual pros.
All right, we can agree to disagree. I just think it's not. I think the Disc Golf Pro Tour could do better. That's what they could do better to the people that are signing up for their tournaments. I don't think they should say this is what happens for C tier events. We should do the same thing that happens for C. That's all I'm saying. And I could be wrong. I'm just trying to put myself in those people's shoes, and maybe that's not the right way of doing it. Let's move on. Sorry, Calvin.
You're good.
Welcome
I
to
mean,
Tour Life.
I see your point,
Welcome
but
in.
I just don't know how
Casual
you
Tuesday
solve
over
it.
here.
No, I think you came up with some good ideas about sometimes when you have a bad experience, right? Because again, can we at least all agree it's a bad experience for these people?
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a bad
is
experience.
true.
I've seen it
I think
happen with
we've all
friends.
had some bad experience before. Sometimes it's nice to just get something like a little voucher or something. Hey, we screwed up or something bad happened to you that's out of our control. Here's 10% off. I don't know, just something. I don't know. We'll give you a hat from the
I think
DGPT
Calvin's
store.
idea of telling them that they can sign up for the tournament, even though they don't do it for a living, like as another vacation for them to go out there and have a good time. They should get precedence over the other people. That's a good idea.
I mean, yeah.
Why are you laughing, Gary? I'm being serious. Stop.
Have a vacation division. No, this happened to a friend of mine. Went out and he played him. Not a pro tour event, but like he saved up, traveled, went out, and they had all that smog happen, and they had to cut a major short, multiple rounds, and there was no money back for that. It's the risk you take. Sign up for an event.
Did he? So, other than running, do you know of any other thing where they give you stuff back? Typically, we just play the next day. Like
if we're going, I mean the big sports.
Yeah, the big sports you just play. You just the tournament doesn't end until you play the allotted time.
And I would say, like for spectators, going on the spectator side of things, a lot of times, or like concerts, let's say concerts, those type of things, a lot of times they get refunds or something. They get something.
Somebody in the chat said, "Let Calvin talk."
Calvin say whatever the flip he wants.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Calvin, I got a question for you. Up to this event, like this, we're gonna move on. Up to this event, every single event you've played this year, you've been finishing better and better and better and better. Literally, just how's the game feeling going into the next event? You're going to Waco this upcoming weekend, and after that, we go to the Open at Austin. How's your game feeling? Because it feels like every event you're just locking in closer and closer and closer to that top level potential.
Yeah, my game's feeling pretty good. You know, I had some issues with my middle finger, a ligament on the side of my middle finger at the end of the off season that kind of bled into the beginning of the season. That kind of limited my ability to throw as much as I would like. I feel like me in particular, I don't know. I feel like I'm not someone who just like magically just picks up the disc and throws it amazing. Like I definitely need my practice to play well. So I feel like as I've been able to get more reps, I've gotten closer to being back where I'd like to be. And then after that, you know, I had some wisdom teeth removed, you know, between events early on in the season. So I don't know. There just wasn't as much time for practices I would have liked. So I feel pretty good now. You know, the last thing that was kind of bugging me was actually throwing backhand distance drivers, and that's no longer bugging me with the finger. So as far as throwing, I feel really good. And then I don't know. Last week I felt like my putt was better than it had been. So overall, it's feeling really good, and there's really no reason why I shouldn't play good other than just not playing good.
I kind of like that nobody knows about your injury. I feel like there are people who go online and they're just like, oh, I didn't. And it's like excuses. You seem like there's no excuses. I like that about you, Calvin. So hats off to you for that.
You can just
Yeah.
start. You can just start texting me, and I can break the news. So it's coming from it's
Yeah.
coming from a reporter and not you. It sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Did you guys know Calvin's dealing with explosive diarrhea this tournament? Look how good look how good he's playing out there. He's having to clench
Yeah.
his cheeks every single time. Calvin, you love rocks.
Yeah.
What's your favorite rock?
I mean, mostly I collect agates out there as far as collecting on tour, but I don't know. I still think I don't know if you call it like a rock per se, but I guess a fossil is kind of a rock. I really enjoy collecting fossils. That's kind of where that started, was sifting for fossils in Florida, shark's teeth and mammal bones and whatnot.
Okay, well I'm gonna in a second here.
Any dinos?
What?
Find any dinos?
I've never found any dinos.
That's like a dream of mine. Imagine finding a dino fossil.
Wait, how often are you searching for dinos, Yuli?
When I was a kid, I was a big time rock.
Going for
No,
that
I'm talking about
amber,
right.
man.
I'm
Going
talking
for
about
that
right
amber.
now.
Never.
You're out
I'm
there.
saying that was a dream. Was a
Here's
dream.
hope-
Of mine.
Oh, was a dream. Okay, I didn't hear
Yeah.
the was. I thought you said
What's your
is.
Did I say
dinosaur,
is a
Yuli?
dream of mine? I might have said is.
I think yeah, and I was like, what are you like out
Well,
there digging for dinos?
that dream is
dude?
gone. But it
Okay,
still would be cool. I mean, you could still find one, go a little creek hopping, and then all of a sudden,
I'm gonna have PDJ and Mike here pop up a photo here in a second. Not yet, but I know you love rocks, and I just did potentially one of the biggest tourist traps of all time in Chattanooga. It ended up like the payoff is sick. It's the biggest or the tallest underwater waterfall, which is incredible. But for the time it takes you to get from the elevator after going down into this, the shaft or whatever, to get to the waterfall is like 45 minutes. If there was no tour guide and there was no one in my way, I could get there in like 3 minutes. And they stop you at all these places to talk about how this rock looks like something. So there is someone's job to walk through this and be like, hey, we need to come up with like 20 spots that we can stop and talk about these rocks looking like something. So if you see anything that looks like something, is that a rock thing, Calvin? Do you do that? When you're out there, are you like, hey, look, that rock looks like the Pope? Are you doing that? Is that a rock people thing that you're like looking at rocks and trying to figure out what they look like?
No, not really. I mean,
Okay, so this is
I guess if something obviously looked like something, I might notice
Okay.
it. But
Put up the photo. Put up the photo. Calvin, what do you think about this? This is bacon.
wait, this is what?
Do you see the sign, Calvin? It's clearly bacon.
Dang.
I see like a ninja mask next to the bacon. That's what I see.
Do I need
I
to
was
Well-
gonna
send
say,
Wait, let me send another one. Let me
it
send
does
another
look like Kevin Bacon. You're right.
one. Let me send another one. Let me send another one. All right, this is a
That's a sweet
video.
rock.
This is a video. Let me send this one in here. All right, Mike, once you get this, throw this one up as well. So yeah, we just would stop and our tour guide would just go for like 5 minutes talking about bacon,
Bacon.
about this rock.
Mm.
And I mean, these people, it was like $45 a person. And I mean, they are just racking it every 10 minutes, a new tour. And apparently they're like, when someone's coming, they're like, butts against the wall. And everyone had to get like against the wall so the other tour could walk by. And me and my brother are standing there being like, there is like 5 feet of room. We could just walk by each other. But no, it's not. All right. This next one is a video. Calvin, I want to hear what you think of this one when Mike throws this up. That's Calvin. That is steak and that is steak and potatoes, baby.
That's awesome. I'm glad you guys see that.
Is this like doing anything for you? Are you liking this? Because I thought this sucked. I thought this sucked, but I'm not a rock person, so maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, I don't think that's doing it for me there. But
Let me show you the waterfall. This will bring you back. Let me show you the waterfall.
Oh my
Let me show you.
goodness.
Tallest underground waterfall here. Tallest underground waterfall.
Oh, shoot, we got tears.
Yeah. I just didn't know. I mean, I needed to ask someone else because I just felt like I got thrown in a tourist trap. They made some like Lifetime movie about the guy that discovered it with, all right, this is, that's
That's
a good,
cool.
that's a good payout.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a good payoff.
What is that called?
That's Ruby Falls, brother.
Okay.
That's the tallest underground waterfall in the United States.
Worth it. Was that the grand finale?
Yeah, that's what you go for. But you have all these things.
Like
Like
go for
they,
the steak and potatoes, and then
they-
aside little pieces ruby waterfall.
they stopped this one time and they called this one rock Sunset. And they're like, look at it. It looks like a sunset, doesn't it? And I was like, you're just shooting yellow and orange light on the rock. If you didn't have yellow or orange light on the rock, it would be pitch black. We wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yeah, but there was one middle-aged tourist there going like, "Oh my word, I see it."
So I'll say this: if you are
Crying.
going,
This
if
is
you
the most
are-
beautiful thing ever.
if you are looking
My
at
life
going,
has
to,
changed.
if you are looking at going at Ruby Falls, Calvin, they do also have a Valentine's Day special that you can go there, and they also have a Halloween Horror Nights where it's pitch black and you just have a candle and people jump out at you in this cave that has super sharp rocks and is about 5 feet tall. So I can't imagine how fun that would be.
How big's the gift shop?
Massive gift shop.
You get steak and potatoes in the gift shop?
Massive. The thing I didn't like. Last thing I have here. Last thing I have here.
Donkey.
Yes, that's another one.
There we go.
You're starting to find them. That actually does kind of look like the back of a donkey, though. I'm gonna give it to them. If you see like the little ears there, that actually does look like the back of a donkey. The only
I'm
thing,
not seeing it. I'm not. I'm
the two legs. You got two legs. It's the donkey's butt. It's got the two legs and then the two ears on the very bottom. It looks like he's walking away from you, a donkey.
They could switch that donkey name with a shorter version of donkey, and it
Yeah.
would make more sense.
True. I'm just again, remember, someone's job, guys, was to walk through this and look at every rock to try to come up with things that look like. I'll leave it like this. Last thing I'll say. I don't like tours where it's the same jokes because you would hear it from one tour passing you, and then your tour guide a second later would say the same joke, and you just heard it. Like, I don't know if you guys ever done the Jungle Cruise in Disney. They all say the same jokes, but like you're contained. You can't hear all the other people. But like when I hear for the fourth time Ruby Falls Fashion Show, every single time we have to walk by another group, it's not funny. After the first time's not even that funny, but the second time it's not. And also, that's not how fashion shows work. One person is walking, not a whole line of people. So it doesn't even make sense. Calvin, who would you like to thank before you head off?
Wow. Yeah, just like to thank, all the fans out there for, coming out and supporting all of us. And, my sponsors, Innova, Millennium, Squatch, and Flight Factory. So shout out to all of them. Thank you guys for having me on. And
Do you have any pet peeves that are outside of weather?
that are outside of weather.
People ask me about rocks.
Yeah, no.
No, you like that, Cal. That was a great segment.
We should have it every week.
Rock
Name
segment.
this rock.
Yeah, what does this rock look like?
I always feel like I freeze up when you ask me about pet peeves. I know there's things I don't like on the course, but not thinking of anything right now.
Do me a favor. Put it in your notes next time, and then when we'll have you on, you can rattle them all.
And I got a question for you that I've been asking a lot of people coming on. New question. When was your welcome to the league moment? Like you got on the course and then you just got it handed to you by somebody and you thought you were good, or seen a shot that you were like, I never seen something like that. Like when was that?
When was that? I don't know. I would say the first time I ever saw a shot that I thought was like incredible was pretty early on, and it was just a random kid at the disc golf course. I wouldn't say that was my welcome to the league moment, but it's the first time I'd ever like actually seen a disc like fly, and it kind of drove me to get better. But as far as like welcome to the league moment, you know, I would probably say it's not even welcome to the league because I'm playing intermediate or something, but I go, it's either my first or second tournament. It would be my second tournament, just like a course just beyond my home course. Don't
Okay.
play it very often. This is like 900 and I don't know, 4 or 6 rated Calvin. Goes and playing an intermediate. I don't know what I averaged out there, but it was probably just a series of like 840 rated rounds back to back to back. And I don't know. It was kind of one of those moments where you're like, man, I really suck. And then I went back the next year and same course and sucked again. And and then, that's when, you have to question like, can I actually play this game? I don't know if you ever played at Maximo Park down in Florida.
Mm-mm.
Handed it to me for years. It's just a
Have you-
short little course
have
in the
you ever-
Palmettos.
Have you ever gotten your revenge? Have you ever gone back and played it well?
I don't know. I've definitely gone back and played it. I don't know if I've ever played it well. I generally leave the place sliced up from the palmettos. And I pretend like I had a good time. No, it's a fun little course, but there are a lot of palmettos, and I would play it well now, but yeah, I don't.
I mean,
I don't know.
I need video evidence of that.
All right. Well, this
Easy-
off
easy
season,
to
maybe
say.
Don't
I'll.
go back. I don't want those memories. We like watching you too much on the lead cards. Don't go back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a real like, oh, I went out and
You grew up around Climo and McRae. They never just put it to you.
yeah, I lost to them all the time, I guess. I mean, to Johnny especially, but like I just expected to lose. I don't know. Like I didn't like go out there like I'm gonna beat Johnny McRae. Like like I don't know. I guess I think of like welcome to the league as like I went out there thinking I was hot,
yeah.
and then you just leave and you're not, like
Start
you just
questioning life.
It sounds
Yeah.
like you. It sounds like this course was your welcome to. For
yeah,
Yeah.
except I was in intermediate and I was like, man, maybe I need to be in novice.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is funny. That's good stuff. All right. Well,
Hmm.
Calvin, we appreciate you.
Yes.
I know there was like a good 20 minutes there of where you probably just zoned out, and I don't blame you.
With Brody and I just ranting,
But
just
we
yelling.
we appreciate you coming on. Hopefully you still say yes next time we ask you to come on, and we can get some more pet peeves out of you.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Thanks, Cal.
There you have it, folks. Calvin.
I
Yuli,
have
we
had
do that
tears.
we do that sometimes of where we all of a sudden forget that there's other people on this podcast and we're just going back and forth.
That's good. It's good. It's
all
good
right.
television.
Let's bring the champ on here. We got Cole Redalen joining us here on tour. Is this his first time joining?
No.
We
Cole,
have-
you've been on
time.
you've
Yeah,
been on
one
before.
time.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
thought I think maybe after Ledgestone, was it?
Yeah, Ledgestone.
Yeah.
Been a couple of years. hmm
All right. Well, hey, congratulations. Back in the winner's circle. Probably not the way you wanted to have go down, but hey, a win's a win. I guess let's start there. How does it kind of feel? This is now, I believe, your third win on tour. This one's a little bit different than the other ones. How does it kind of feel?
Yeah, I mean, a little different. I think is the understatement. It feels a lot different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a significantly smaller tournament than Ledgestone and MVP. It's my first 3-round win, and I guess now not even a 3-round win. It's a 2.5-round win. Uh, but yeah, it feels strange. I mean, it didn't feel like a winning feeling, to be honest. Just with how much was going on, I knew the other guys felt. I mean, it was exciting, and I definitely was like, I was just shaking on like hole nine's tee pad because we literally found out we had a hole and a half, and halfway up hole eight's fairway, and I realized I had to make that upshot with a 2-stroke lead, and then not hit any trees going down nine's fairway. So in reality, it was like everybody had just settled into the round, and we were locking in for a tough back nine battle, and then all of a sudden we're just like, oh well, Cole, as long as you don't blow it, you're gonna win. It was like, wow, okay, that's just a shift. And then yeah, all of a sudden you tap in and you're like, you want to be stoked and excited, but it's almost like, how can I be when none of us saw this coming? And, you know, I'm stoked to be obviously on the right side of things, but I'll be the first one to say I never want to win a tournament this way. I always want to prove to myself that I can go the full length. And so, um, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of mixed emotions and feelings. And then, um, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, I feel grateful I'm on this side of it, but it's not anything to compare to anything else.
Yeah, I had your back on this one because I think if two names came out, and again, I'm just calling on people that I remember. You have like the Colt Montgomery win in Waco, where like Paul was starting to charge, and then you have, I believe, the Big Germ USDGC win, right? Of where these guys, this was Big Germ's first major, I believe, and then Colton's first big win on tour. With you, you've won before. You've won against the best people. So I think it does hold, it's like a little bit different. It's not like, oh, he got lucky that he didn't have to like go head to head against Gannon down the stretch. Like you've done it and you've won it. So I think it is a little bit different. But you talked a little bit about it. Tell me how different of a feeling those last couple holes were had you known going into the round. You have 9 holes, guys. Like you were told on hole 1, you're playing 9 holes today versus finding out about it on hole 8.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, it would definitely have changed the dynamic. I mean, I think there's something different knowing that there's 9 holes you got to get through to take it down rather than 18, because I think it's a battle you have to have within yourself for an entire 18 holes, and there's stages of it. Whereas like, the first few holes you're nervous, you're kind of settling in, you might make a bad shot here or there, but then like after the first few holes you kind of start to settle in. You're like, okay, I found my rhythm, I found myself. But if it's only a 9 hole sprint, you feel like there's a sense of urgency almost of like, I could see it where if they're like, hey, you only have 9 holes, hold on to this 2, 3 shot lead over these guys. It's kind of like, oh, now I really look like a chump if I blow it. It's like there's only 9 holes you gotta get through. And so now there's like almost, I feel like, added pressure to it. I know Gannon last year, he had like six into the and they he had 6 strokes and they only ended up playing 9 holes, but they knew before they started that they were only gonna play 9. And dude leaked like 3 or 4 like within the first few
Yeah.
holes. And so it was like I could totally see that happening where you're just like, man, I'm set for an all-time collapse right now. So I don't know. I could totally see it where if we knew we were only playing 9, it would have definitely changed the dynamic. Now, I'm gonna sit here and believe in myself and believe that I definitely would have pulled through had I been able to adjust to those circumstances. But it would have changed it. I think I probably would have felt a little extra nervous, maybe some just sense of urgency, and it wouldn't have been as easy to maybe let go that rough of a start. I bogeyed the first, and so you think about bogeying the first in a 9 hole sprint, there's a little bit more of like okay, wow, we really have to bounce back now instead of like, hey, it's okay, settle into the round. You got a lot of holes, that's how I'd break it down.
Yeah, it's good intel. I want to dive in a little bit on your play because you're a very interesting guy on tour because we've seen you when you're playing well and it just looks like you're unstoppable. It looks like you're just going to take care of business. No one's going to touch you. What clicks when what is the difference? Have you figured that out? Is that something that you're still trying to figure out? Like, why can't I just do this every week? What is it?
I think it's maybe some of that, a little bit of like I don't know why this happens, but this year it feels more than ever so. I mean, back when I won Ledgestone, I thought I was a good player, and I thought my game was really good, and that's just how I played it, and I was solid, right? And I had a pretty solid finish to that season in 23, and was leading worlds and ended up letting that slip at the end of 23 at Smugs. And so I had a solid finish to that season, but then 2024 happened and it was a rocky start. My form was breaking down. And then I ended up getting injured halfway through
Mhm.
2024. And so, right after winning Ledgestone, less than a year later, I was into injury mode. And so I was injured for the rest of 24, most of 25 as well, still trying to figure out what's going on with the hip injury. And so through injury, it's really been difficult for me to believe in my game and believe in my body. And when you're dealing with that, I mean, it's just so hard to be consistent. And I feel like kind of as soon as I hit Idlewild last year, which was when I really started to pop off toward the end of the last season, I was coming out of my injury and I'd made some significant form adjustments and changes that finally felt consistent. And the biggest one was changing my grip. So I feel like I've just been developing, honestly. If there's anything that I would say or tribute to my inconsistencies, it would just be straight up development. It's going through injury, it's going through form adjustments, it's learning who I want to be as a player, how I want to throw as a player. It's looking at the players who are clearly better than me and know more about the game than I do and trying to be a student to that. Asking questions to people about the game that I don't understand, like that's been a whole part of this. And I've been on tour for 5 or 6 years. I believe I wasted a good bit of my first couple years, honestly, just thinking I was good enough to just kind of roll into this. But once you're out here and you understand the grind and you look at the guys who are consistently at the top, you have to, in some way, play that comparison game. You have to look at what they're doing and how they're throwing. Be like, why can't I be that consistent? Why am I out here on tour and have a tour card, but cannot play at that high of a level every single week? So if you're not on tour asking yourself those questions, I honestly don't know why you're on tour. Because if you're going to be on tour, like, you know, learn from the guys who are doing it week in and week out. Learn from the guys that I've looked up to for most of my, young career as well. So I think I just am kind of entering a new phase of my career since, even the win at MVP or even coming out of the injury. I see the game differently. And I see other players differently, and I have a lot more of a learner's mindset and just ready to tackle the game. And so from all of that forward, I've been trying to bring my game to a place of consistency, and I feel like I'm finally getting there. But through injury, making adjustments, humbling moments, all of these things, I'm kind of finally becoming the player I want to be.
Walk us through your process of changing your form. Like, when do you make the decision of, hey, I don't need to just practice more, I need to actually change something? And then how does that work?
Yeah, I've always been a believer that I know how to play the game that I have. And if there's a tool I don't have, then I need to learn it. And I've always been really bad in the wind. Playing and growing up in Oregon in the valley outside of Portland, we barely have any wind there. Playing Milo, playing like those courses, we're in this valley, we don't get a lot of wind. Whereas you go to Central Oregon in the desert, it's all windy. And so growing up in a place where we didn't have a lot of wind, I fell in love with the touchy side of the game, the nose up, the floaters, the old school type of the game where it was fun and you were manipulating understable, hyzer flips, all those things, and it was great. But then I came out on tour and I tried to bring that style and to the tour, and we're playing in wind every week. And so most of the tour in the Midwest and starting in even Vegas and being in Texas and all of these places just did not prime me for good disc golf. And I played a nose up style of game for like 3 years. Or actually 4 years. Sorry, this is my first year throwing nose down. So it's actually been like almost 4 or 5 years of trying to learn a nose up throw. And what I
Mm.
mean by nose up throw is having a higher reach back and dipping to a nose up release. That's not necessarily a bad way to throw. It's just inconsistent because you're now relying on your release so much more than throwing through the shot. You're kind of snapping the disc in front of you rather than pulling through the motion entirely. And so one of the biggest changes I've been making is in watching obviously Gannon and what he's doing, he has a nose down throw. He's throwing through his line every single time he throws. What I felt like I was doing was relying on perfect timing, perfect angles, and snapping the disc in front of me. So when the wind was down, you bet you I'm on. I'm manipulating everything and it's great. But when the wind comes up and I have a floaty game and a floaty putt, It's just the variables just become so much greater. So my goal in changing form has been what technique and what type of throw do I need to have to eliminate as many variables as possible so I can be as consistent as possible in every type of condition.
Where would you put yourself as far as like an understable, floaty, touchy player? Like where would you rank yourself with other people on tour? Because we don't really see that many people play that type of style.
I I think I'd rank myself pretty high. I mean, as far as like a floaty putter game, I think I have a really good touch style. I don't know. Maybe I'd let Yuli answer that. He's watched me throw and watched me play, but um, I think as far as a touch game, I can have touch anywhere. I can have touch on any type of green. Where most people are usually throwing an overstable zone, I'm probably throwing a straight steady BL, right? Like I'm just nice smooth and putter guy. Like that's just my style. So because I actually prefer the touch shot, I feel like even that in and of itself, I just feel like that's one of my strengths.
Yuli, what do you think? Who are some of the other touchy guys that can throw some touch shots on tour?
You have to go old school, like he's saying. I mean, Bradley Williams comes to mind. He's got a nice floaty game.
That's a good one.
Paul
Kale.
McBeth. Paul McBeth is actually very touchy and floaty. But he can do it all. But if it comes down to landing the disc super soft, you're not going to find a lot of people better than him. And really doesn't go much farther than that. There's,
Barsby, maybe?
Not Barsby for sure. If you're talking about like a throw in or something, but you get outside of that distance, he's not throwing, like 350 foot floaty shots. He's flexing. Kale, yeah, but he's not really on tour, really. Of course, you would say Kale. I think Matty O has all of his shots are floaty. He's got every shot he throws is kind of a nose up, air bouncy kind of throw. But I mean, he's been playing for longer than all of us. So I think Cole's right. I think you would rank him up extremely high in that category.
There's a shot I threw on the second round. I think it was on hole 6, going up through that tight gap. I threw a hyzer flip steady BL putter going up the middle on that gap. I feel like most guys are going like a overstable mid or kind of a forehand flex, but I'm just like, hey, I like the smooth, floaty, understable putter. I'm just gonna pop this on hyzer and watch it float all the way down the middle because I hit one angle and boom, it's there. And I don't feel like that is a skill that is really hard to learn, is finessing it off the fingertips, feeling that snap off of the hand. I think a lot of players now like to just have their whole arm do the whole motion, but to really feel this part of the release is really difficult. So if there's anything in changing my game to a nose down throw, I feel like because I threw nose up for so long, I haven't lost that. I'm only gaining tools, changing my throw now. And so it's kind of nice when I get into situations like that, I can still bring back that finesse, nose up, nice spinny, poppy putter. But when it comes down to really piercing through a line, I'm able to bring the nose down, punch it through, let it push the whole way, fairway driver when necessary.
And another player who actually has so much touch, even with the driver or fairway driver, that I think gets lost in translation because of how much power he has, is Anthony Barella. That guy has a ton of touch as far as throwing it in soft. We see him do that with like I said, fairway drivers. He even does it with like overstable, like Raptor Firebird type disc, to where he's throwing up shots with that, like nose up, kind of flexing it in there, which takes it a lot of touch. But yeah, it's kind of a lost skill, honestly, because we don't really need it that much. And in order to force it in there on courses, it's not really a shot that you got to learn anymore to be on the tour.
Do you think we'll ever get to a time where the equipment is specific for the tournament? So do you think there's ever a potential of where they're like, hey, for this tournament, because they did that, the weight for the Japan Open that one year, right? You couldn't throw anything over what was it?
That was a long time ago. Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
Every year it was a weight. It was a weighted.
But do you think there could ever be something like that of where it's like, hey, this tournament, they like cut? I mean, I don't know how you would necessarily do it with like stability. I feel like that would be very, very challenging. but something along those lines of where everyone's having to use a specific type of discs? Could that make it interesting for for one tournament?
I mean, we already kind of do that with like the catch discs, right? Like the glitch worlds or like, you stuff like that. I don't think for a pro tour event, it's hard. I mean, you'd have to have somebody checking every
Those
disc in
bags.
every person's bags. I mean, it feels kind of involved. Maybe I guess practice is like players, dealer's choice, but like I don't know. It seems like a lot to manage and
Yeah.
be on top of. I like the idea of changing up formats like doubles and match play and things like that. But as far as equipment restrictions, I mean, do they do that in golf? I don't know. I don't know if they do that in other sports,
No.
but
No,
yeah.
But they are rolling the ball back in 2027.
Yeah. It's gonna be really, yeah. I mean, I think that would be obviously the toughest thing would be to actually enforce it.
I
You-
think
you would-
Brody,
you-
I think the best thing that we can do, and I think we should do it, is actually have a club minimum, like a disc minimum.
I
Yeah,
love that idea.
I don't hate that idea.
I think that should be in the future, to be honest with you, because I mean I have 35 discs, but if you
I have
shut
20.
that down, yeah, if you shut that down to like 15 discs,
You have to make decisions.
and I
That's
think it
deep.
should be a thing to where like you're allowed to use those, and you can have backups in case you lose it in the water, and then you replace that and it becomes one of your 15. That way we don't have to worry about, well, I just lost my only overstable driver in the drink. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Maybe you can have like 5 backups to replace whatever you have in your bag or
Reserves,
something. Yeah, like a reserve, exactly. But I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I just like the idea of we did a Jomez video out at DDO one year, and everyone was having to pick random discs that they didn't really know how they flew. And a lot of them were like really lightweight, beat up disc. And like watching everyone just trying to figure out, it was on the island hole, and watching everyone try to figure out how to like throw these super like touchy, because you can't overpower these discs. If you throw these discs hard, they're just going to turn over and straight go in the water. So you have to like a lot of snap, kind of like what you're talking about, Cole. A lot more like wrist involvement versus like if you drove through with speed, you can't throw these discs at all. It would be very interesting just to watch players have to navigate a course. But obviously it would go up in flames if it was windy. Like it would just be terrible to watch if like no one could throw over 100 feet. But speaking of, yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say I love ultimate discs. Like throwing an ultimate disc is so fun because it is a little bit more army and wristy. I feel like it's not, you have to have more finesse with an ultimate disc. Like
Yeah.
it's just you play the angle, you play the nose angle. It's just like it's so fun, which my dad grew up playing, or not grew up, sorry. My dad played ultimate frisbee, and I grew up going to ultimate frisbee practices with him, and we would just play catch. And so that was my first introduction to uh disc sports, was ultimate frisbee and just learning to throw an ultimate frisbee. And then I found disc golf and that went away, but I've always had a natural love for just the nice floaty, floats of a frisbee. If I can bring that to disc golf, I will.
Yeah, it's nothing like throwing a disc where it's like you're putting way more revolution on it than the speed of how fast it's coming out of your hand. Very fun to manipulate. You were talking about different formats. Let's talk a little bit about the preserve. Is that something that you're getting excited for? Who's your partner? How'd you decide who your partner was going to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. We were gonna release it this week, so I guess it's official announcement now.
Well, I mean, you have 864 people watching, so
Awesome.
Not a bad time to throw it out there.
Yeah, Sullivan Tipton and I are teaming up for the preserve.
Yuli,
Backhand
that's a
guy,
good
forehand guy.
team.
What's the team name though? That matters a lot.
That's a good
It's-
team, Yuli.
It's the DGA Dogs, because we're both on DGA. And
How do you spell dogs? How'd you spell dogs?
DAWG.
Okay. That's what I thought.
DAWG.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought. Okay, fair enough.
Z or S?
It's an S. It's an S. Yeah. Nope. The DGA Dogs run it up. We're both playing well this year, and after the start of the season, we planned it in the off season. and I started the season like 81st and 70th. I'm like, I'm glad he can't change his partner now. But no, we're back on track, and we're both looking forward to it. I think his forehand, my backhand combo, and both of us getting refined with the putter up until that point. DGA has helped us both out a ton with new putters coming soon, so that's also very exciting. So I'm pumped for it. I think we got a pretty good chance. It's cool.
What now? You guys are decently close with one another. There are some teams out there where maybe people are picking based off of like skill, right? And they're not maybe necessarily like buddy or friends. They might be friendly, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, how much do you think that is going to be an advantage for you guys, that you guys actually spend time with one another quite a bit?
Sure, yeah. We actually don't spend a whole lot of time together.
Oh,
I mean, we see each other on the weekly, and we're
okay.
homies, and we're both on DGA, but we're not like spending every day or most
You're
days
not going to the
practicing or
movie
whatnot.
theaters. You're not going to
No,
movie theaters yet.
no,
Okay.
not usually.
Well, maybe after you win, you guys can go see a movie together.
Yeah, I'll take him out. I'll take him out. He'll take me to the gym first, and then I'll take him to movies. That's usually how it would go, probably. But no, I think we have like, yeah, we're just always positive and chill, and like we're just total homies. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I think people are going to choose someone they vibe with well, but also think their game complements them well. I don't think they're going to go entirely off of vibe, and I don't think they're also going to go entirely off of just their game fits perfectly with mine. I feel like there has to be a little bit of that combo. I think Sully and I are that perfect fit where, you know, we are close and we are homies, but like we're not like best friends either, where we're just like, bro, what the heck? Like we're gonna be
Yeah.
disappointed if we let each other down. But also our games are just literally perfect for each other. So I think it's kind of a good combo, and I think that's how most people should. I think like Gannon and Calvin, I mean, what a killer grouping there.
Yeah.
And then like I think was it AB and Paul are going
Yeah.
together. So
There's a
like
lot of good teams. A lot of good
they're
teams.
I mean, good camaraderie and good disc golf. Like, yeah. So I don't know. It is interesting.
Good Brad has a good question. We won't answer it, but maybe people in the chat can answer. Let us know who would be the worst combo on tour. two people playing together that just would be absolutely what is it, oil and water, they say. What are your and Yuli, let me know too, what are your guys' thoughts on 2 rounds of best shot scramble and then 1 round of alternate shot? Do you think they missed the ball a little bit about not having 1 round be like best ball, where it's like you play your own disc and whoever scores the best on that hole, you take that score for your team? I just feel like, do you feel like 2 scramble rounds out at that course is a little too like overkill?
I like it where we both play the hole and we take the best score. Is that what you're talking about?
No
Like
one.
we both complete the
Yeah,
hole.
yeah. He's
No
saying
one-
that
No
you-
one's doing that format.
that they're not doing that, but
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think that would
two
be a really good idea.
The 2 formats they're doing are you both throw your shot, whichever shot's
Yeah.
the best, you throw both from that spot. So you're taking
Yeah.
the best shot, and then the other one is alternate. So one person throws, then the other person throws from there.
World game.
I think it's good to start off with like best ball, like you're saying, like scramble, but or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then move to alternate, because you have to come out the gates hot with your team, and then you got to hold on individually to really prove the and solidify, the best combo. But I think mixing up a round in there where, yeah, I mean, Sully and I both complete the hole and we take the best score.
Best score, yeah.
Maybe that's a better second round, and then alternate closes it out where,
Final round, yeah.
one teammate has the opportunity to clutch the whole thing. I mean, that would be sick, coming down the stretch of where you really have to please strategic. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think alt shot is definitely the biggest pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Of those 3 formats, like you can't hide. Where the scramble and the best ball, if someone's just playing really, really well, you might not ever take your shot or your score the entire round. So I do like that they're doing alt shot, but
In the alt shot format, Cole, would you rather be the guy with the pressure of having to throw the good tee shot or the guy who's got to make the big putt?
Oh, good question.
I will. I don't know.
Like hole 17, would you want to throw
Yeah.
that tee shot on hole
Oh,
17?
100%. 100%. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's my style. Like straight touch putter, man. Like that's me. So I'll take it all day out there at Preserve. But no, I think I'd rather throw the clutch shot than have the clutch putt. But if I did have the clutch putt, I'd be like, all right, bro, it's all or nothing, man. Like put this in. So it's like, what an honor, to have the opportunity to jam that thing in. But I mean, you miss a 15-footer and your homie's right there, just hands his face. It's like, okay, yeah.
Do you think potentially some teams might blow up a little bit? Like it sounds like you and Sully will be able to kind of get along with one another, but
Yeah.
do you think there are some teams out there, like things start going south, we could see some fireworks on coverage?
I just don't think guys are gonna pick a teammate that they would get into that situation with.
Yuli,
But
you
I
agree?
don't know. I don't know. It might.
No, I think it'll be friendly. I
Yeah.
think it'll be a friendly disappointment. Like look over at your buddy, like, oh my god, that just came out of you. Are we serious right now?
We'll be sharing the
and
Airbnb
they'll
next
dumb
week.
it. You'll be disappointed, but you should be disappointed together because like
Right.
you're a team. I don't think you'll be like mad at your partner or something like that. I don't think that's a situation that's going to happen on the format. I think it should go best shot, alternate, then best shot. I think you should end on best shot.
Oh.
Well, I do,
like
yeah. Because then you get the best possible golf out of your team to finish it out. So get yourself in position, hold on. Now we really know who the best team is going in the final round, and now it's just fireworks for the fans. Like you're gonna get the best possible scenario out of there, and it's gonna be exciting. And if you mess up, that's what I think. I think it could get to the point where alternate shot, like
that's interesting. You have that take.
It might, yeah. I think that it might get a little boring. Like, I think it might get a little boring, to be honest with you, with alternate shot of not seeing fantastic golf, like seeing more slow shots into the green, seeing less runs.
I agree.
I think people in behind will have a better chance to push as well with alternate shot, because now it's like all or nothing. Like we're going for everything, to where the guys ahead are just trying not to give strokes away. I don't know. I like the best shot for the final round more, for the excitement of everything, and
try to throw in on the last hole.
Try to throw in. Yeah. I mean, try to throw in on 17, both of you.
Yeah. I mean, imagine Macbeth. He looks at AB and says, "Hey, I'll give this a great look off the tee on 18," and AB can now do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because to me, the first thing that runs to my mind is like, alt shot is going to be the most pressure, right? You're going to have to see people. It's one throw. If you mess it up, you're screwing up your partner. Like that's going to be very pressure filled coming down the stretch to win this thing. But then to your guys' point, I didn't really think about it that way.
You can't hide from pressure, Brody. If it's best shot or alternate shot, like you're not hiding from that moment.
Well, it's more like if Cole throws his shot on 17, he tries to make it and it lands 10 feet, right? It hits the basket and lands 10 feet. There's a lot less pressure on me trying to throw my shot in best shot in that scenario.
I also think that there's a scenario where the best team doesn't win from a bad break or something, because now you just get one shot going down the fairway. If it clips a limb or something, and now you're cooked, and the other guy goes under the limb or goes over the limb with a worse shot. Like, I think best shot is the best way to close this thing out. So I'm a little disappointed that it's alternate shot, but I'm not going to be pissed when, we take it down because nobody can hang with us, and I'm going above the branch while the other team's
Yep.
smacking that thing.
Can you imagine how long the playoff would go in the best shot though? Like if you got two really good teams, that playoff could last the whole
Yeah, it
rest.
just goes back and forth.
It could, yeah. That would be great.
Cole, talk a little bit about, you've been on tour now a couple years. Where when you first were touring, were you still in school? Were you kind of doing back and forth? How was that working? Like your first
Yeah,
couple years?
I finished school halfway through my second year. I finished high school. That was 2022. So I've been free of that for a while now. Yeah, and I bought or got this RV that I'm in right now at the end of 2022, and I've been in that by myself for the last 4 years. Um,
What is
yeah.
that? What is that lifestyle like at your age? Like friends that don't play disc golf, high school friends and stuff. Like what, how does that come up when you're going at birthday parties or Christmas time and stuff? Like how does that work? Of where you're just like, oh, you guys are just like doing college? Like, yeah, I'm just driving around the United States playing disc golf, making money.
In an
I
RV
mean,
by
you
myself.
you lose touch pretty quick. I'll say that. I mean, there's a lot of people I lost touch with. There's probably only two or three guys that I really kept tabs on
Mm.
um, after school, but yeah, they stayed local. I think one went into the Navy, one actually moved to Texas. So a couple of my friends actually moved away, and then I just started touring. So after that, I really didn't have much of anybody left in Oregon to keep tabs with. So it was kind of natural transition, I'd say. But it was sad too. Like I got, wedding invitations and, invitations to things that I wasn't able to attend because I had a tournament. Like I missed my childhood best friend's wedding because I was at Worlds in Europe. Like tell me the most inconvenient time to be at Worlds in Europe is for somebody's wedding all the way across the world. And so, it's difficult when you're young and growing up and wanting to be a part of the growth of your friends as well and be still in their lives. But at the same time, like you have to trust yourself, give yourself the benefit of the doubt too, and hope that they trust that you still care about them. I think it's hard for me too, more than anything, is like you leave and then you don't talk for months after being in school and being local and hanging out and whatever. And, all of a sudden you just like, okay, now your crew is really on tour. But then you hit the off season and you come home and then you're just like reconnecting with everybody and they're like, "Oh, that's sweet. Haven't talked to you in 7 months. I'll say goodbye to you in 3 months." It's like a total shift. So then you have your homies on the road. But one thing I found that's really difficult is I've been in this RV by myself for the last 4 years. And so that's also draining is when you're managing something like this by yourself. I tow a car behind it too. That's expensive. You're on your own. It's lonely. You're managing vehicles and all of these things. And um, so I'm actually selling it after Austin.
Mm.
When I'm done in Texas, I'm going to drive it back to Oregon and sell it and start doing the Airbnb lifestyle afterwards. So it's kind of the end of an era with the RV, but it's kind of a refreshing one because it's hard. I kind of crave community. I haven't had a great. I've had an amazing community and a lot of guys on tour, but I'm not staying with them in Airbnbs and seeing them every day. And I think that's a big part of road life is having a community of guys who you're staying with week in and week out and pushing each other and encouraging each other and, having these awesome conversations every day and, all of those things. And for me, I've just been a lone wolf and doing my own thing. And so yeah, I'm excited to kind of transition into that. And I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna hurt my game. I don't know if it's gonna help my game, if it's gonna motivate me, or if I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. It's just gonna be different, and I'm gonna have to adjust. And I'm used to my own space, right? Like I feel like I'm a pretty organized person. Like I like my things where they are. Having a kitchen, I cook for myself a lot. So there's a lot of things more things I'll be moving around doing Airbnbs, but it'll be a valuable, I think, transition and a lot cheaper transition, more community. So I think you just grow more as an individual too when you spend more time with other people and in community, especially good community. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But it's hard. It's definitely been hard. I had to grow up faster. I remember it's like halfway through 2022, I was just not feeling good about my game. I felt terrible. And I was like 17. I was turning 18 at the end of that year. And my game felt awful. I was on the road with my mom. And I called my dad and I was just like, Dad, I just want to come home from this year and just like whatever, like figure out my game, and then come back in the next year and I'll just start fresh. But this season, I'm already playing terrible. My game feels awful and I'm done. He's like, No, you're an adult now. I know you think you're only 17 or whatever, but stay out there and get after it, kick some butt. And so it definitely took some of that, It's like, I'm definitely have a lot thicker skin now, but when you're a young high schooler trying to do this professionally, it's a tall task too. Like I don't feel like we give the younger guys coming up on tour enough, you know, credit for the how hard it is out here. It's a big shift in their life from everything that they've known. And, we just kind of like, oh, somebody who's 17 or 18 just pop off. And now we just have to think of them as like, oh, they're just they're coming up like this is dope. But like, no, they still have to refine their game. They have so much they need to learn. And sure, they had a good week, but like that dude is dealing with so many more things than people think. Um, and so, yeah, it's been a great process, but I still feel like even after 5 or 6 years of being on the road, I'm 21 now, turning 22 this year. I'm just excited for what these next 9 or 10 years are going to look like because I'm finally getting to a point where I'm like, hey, this is where I want to be as a player, and it's time to get after this career. So, yeah.
Well, it was good timing that you actually just said that because that was going to be my next question. Of you see guys on tour, Yuli, Ricky, Paul Macbeth, some of these guys that have been playing disc golf for over a decade now. Is that something that you're looking at as well, of where you can see yourself mid-30s still traveling around playing disc golf, trying to win tournaments and stuff? Is this something that you're basically, I just guess, like, what are like the big goals, the big dreams and goals? Do you have those already kind of figured out?
Yeah, 100%. I want to be the best, most consistent disc golfer I can be. And if that brings me to the best in the world, then that's what it's going to be. But for me, it's about evolving myself and it's about being the best version of myself and not wasting any time. If I've chosen to be out here on the road, then heck yeah, I want to give it my all. I want to be making the sacrifices that's necessary to be the best player in the world every single week. I don't really have a specific goal of like, I want to win this tournament and I want to, accomplish this thing. I'm just like, hey, my ceiling is winning. Winning is my only goal. So my goal is to win. It doesn't matter whether it's a major, it doesn't matter whether it's elite series, it doesn't matter if it's an A tier, it doesn't matter if it's a B tier. I'm showing up and I want to win. And if that's my goal, then I'm just going to work as hard as I can and change and make the adjustments and do what I need to do and do what it takes to win. And when I show up to the tournament, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to do what I need to do to make it happen. But I'd say, yeah, I mean, specific goals. I've always grown up. Yeah, I want to be a world champion. I want to win a major. I want to do these things. But my also thing is that's gonna come if I pursue to be the best player that I can be. So that's kind of like what my primary goal is like, don't waste time, be out here, give it my all, be disciplined, be dedicated to this craft, ask good questions, learn from the guys who have been doing this for a long time. I mean, I was lucky enough, I spent a couple months or a month or so in Jacksonville getting ready for the season and got in a bunch of rounds with Macbeth. And that dude is just so kind and open with his knowledge. And I'm just so grateful for him. I sat down and he let me ask him and pick his brain so many times. I asked him so many questions. He had us over for dinner and just like, I'm like, dude, can I just like sit you down and ask you some questions? And we talked for like a few hours. Like he was awesome, just a total open book. And so to really take advantage of, even guys like Yuli who, have been after this for a while and who I can still learn from now, in me growing, I see that as a great value. And I don't see why I don't keep pursuing this as a career, like I'm out here on the road already. And even when that happened, when I was young and just came on the road, I was, kind of like, okay, let's see how I fit in. Let's see what happens. I wish instead of having that mindset, I would have been right into it, right? Asking the questions then, understanding the game more then. Like, I didn't realize that as soon as I got on the road, I actually had access to all of these guys. When I got on the road, I was just like, okay, yeah, let's see what happens. I'm like, no, I wish I wasn't so timid. I wish I was like, hey, ask these guys questions, pick their brains. Like all of these guys on tour out here, they have knowledge and they want to share it. And I feel like we're all passionate about the game. And so I think if that's the biggest thing the younger players of our generation should be doing now is being more humble and being more open to the guys who have been pushing this game further, because that's going to be the biggest thing that pushes even them further in the future. So when youth meets the knowledge of a bunch of these older guys, like it's gonna be a clawing for every trophy, coming these next few years.
Yuli, will there ever be a time where you're like, hey, I don't want you to get better than me. I'm not telling you crap. Scram.
No, they're all better than me already. I already shared too much knowledge, bro. No, I'm totally kidding.
You,
No,
I
I
mean, the
never.
reason I won this week is from what you taught me at Champions Cup, dude, about the putter. It
Oh
literally
my
changed my world in Jonesboro.
See what I'm saying? It's already costing me, man.
Oh.
No, growing up, I was a lot like Cole, to be honest with you, listening to the way that he's talking about being on the road by himself and everything. I traveled by myself for years. And back then that was a rare thing because like he said, there was a lot of guys with community and they didn't travel by themselves. And I was kind of in my own world and I didn't want any of that. I wanted to do it kind of my way type thing. And I thought everybody was kind of chumps at the time. I'm like, I'm like, these guys like aren't athletes. Like I'm an athlete, like I'll figure it out. And I think that hurt me because I had a different view of the world. And I wish I would have asked questions a bit sooner, like he's saying. And I eventually did. And that's why when I got really good is when I started, asking Barry Schultz, and I would call them and I'm sure they would all get annoyed at me at one point because I was always asking. But the first couple of years, I just didn't have a great understanding of the game. So I completely understand where he's coming from and stuff. So that's cool to hear, man. I'm glad you learned
Yeah.
that.
I had a little bit of that too. Like, have you guys seen like the Conor McGregor clip of him like throwing a football or like shooting a basketball?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's like
It's awful.
very bad. And I had kind of that as well, where it's like, dude, this guy sucks. No way he's gonna beat me in a fight. He's not an athlete.
Yeah.
And then you get like in the ring and you get knocked out. Disc golf's a little bit like that too. Like you don't need to be able to dunk a basketball. You don't need to be like super fast. You don't need to be able to jump high. You don't really need to be able to catch. And you can be really freaking good at disc golf. And so it is one of those things where it's like you could really underestimate some of these guys being like, this guy can't even do a push-up. And then he like throws it 50, 75 feet past your drive. So definitely can be like that. Yuli and Gary, do you guys have anything else for Cole before we get into the final questions? Pet peeves. All right. Cole, hit us with the pet peeves. Do you have anything for us? Anything that's getting under your skin?
I feel like I don't know if I got to say this last time I was on here. Brody, you had a take a long time ago that you didn't like earbuds on the course, and I just want to say I can't stand them. I don't like it when people wear earbuds on the course. I feel like that's something that makes disc golf so cool, is the battle within and the mind. And so to be out there with a AirPod in your ear, I used to be one of those guys. I will admit it right now. I used to be the guy that went out there and had it in the ear. I can't stand it, man. Like, let's get the earpods out, face whatever is going on in the mind and like, learn to deal with it, man. Like, stop leaning on your rap or whatever to motivate you through a situation. Like, just, get after it.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
take. Yeah, my take was always I think it looks silly,
right.
I don't think it looks like super professional, but your take's very good. Like disc golf, if we could have more of a mental battle, I think that'd be good for everyone out there.
For
And
sure.
yeah, some people are definitely using it as a crutch of where
Mhm.
they're able to kind of listen to something to kind of get them in their flow state or whatever it may be. All right, Yuli,
Right.
you got yours, brother?
Yeah, Cole, when was your welcome to the league moment?
That's a good question, man. Dude, you'll remember this one. Uh, maybe 2021 Resistance this open. First time on Jomez, pulled up, and it was pouring rain. I just played great the first 2 days to pull up on that card, and shot like like 14 over. I don't even know, dude. My back nine was full of doubles.
Was that the one where it was really windy?
No, it was super
So
rainy. We were at Trojan
Rainy.
Park. We were
Yeah,
at Trojan
so much
Park
water.
in Oregon.
So much water.
much water. It was pouring. We were playing around water. OB everywhere. And I started off with a raincoat. And dude, I took my raincoat off on like hole 7 or 8. Played the whole back nine in a polo. And there was nothing dry about me. I threw every shot OB by about this much, missed every putt off the left or right side, and it was just like I was throwing my hands up like I didn't know what was going on. I had a blast. I will say I had a blast, and it was hilarious to watch. But that was quite the humbling experience. Just
Yeah.
first time on Jomez in that situation was
Oh,
funny.
that was your first time?
And I had a falling putt by accident. I thought it was like I was like 25 feet clearly inside the circle, and had a falling putt on purpose and just didn't even think twice that I was in the circle. And then I was pumped that I made it, and then I walked out of the woods, and they were like, "Yo, you can't do that." I was like, "Oh, that was inside the circle." Like I felt like
Oh,
such an
no.
idiot, dude. So funny.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I do remember that tournament because there was one point in time it was raining so bad, like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
heavy. And it might have been my first tournament actually playing in the rain. I didn't have a caddy. And Cole, you're a tall guy, being 6'5" and having to do this thing where I was watching these other people. They freaking put their bag down on the ground, and then they have their umbrella laying on the ground, and then they're like squatting like under their umbrella and getting their disc out like this. And I was like, brother, I'm not doing that this entire round. I tried to do it a little bit. I would like my shoulder would like hit the umbrella and fall over. And I got so pissed off that I think I broke my umbrella. And I did what you did, Cole. I said, screw it. I'm just gonna be soaking wet. I don't give a rip. I think I threw one disc like 15 feet, just slipped out of my hand straight in. All my towels were wet.
Yep.
I was like,
Just gave up.
I was like, this sucks. I was like, playing in
Embrace
the
the suck.
rain sucks.
I was an Oregonian too. I just still got beat down by it. Like us Oregonians, man, we're built different in the rain. But that day was that was rough.
Man, I was pissed. Like watching all these like 5'7" guys just freaking like hobbits down there. Like, I mean, they're like making eggs and bacon, like having like snacks in there and stuff. And like my ogre self, I can't even fit under my umbrella. I don't even think I had a golf umbrella. That was the big difference. Once you get the golf umbrella, that's a game changer. You get like the little Walmart crap umbrellas. Those things suck.
The problem was, Brody, I had a caddy and I didn't have my own umbrella. So I was relying on my caddy's umbrella, and then I just either I was cuddling up with him under the umbrella, or I just didn't have one. So that was the last day I had a caddy in the rain and only one umbrella. I've always had two ever since that day.
Yeah. All right, Gary, you got your question, brother?
Yeah. So people want to know what's something weird that you keep in your disc golf bag. Rise of the
Sorry, cut out there. There was a something in the bag.
What's something weird or odd that you keep in your bag that would surprise other people?
Weird, odd. Dude, I'm a minimalist, man. Like I keep pencils, a stretch, like, warm-up band, a towel, a water bottle, my discs. I mean, maybe I'll just say a Yuli horse patch, on the side. Like that's pretty
Nice.
fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
nice. Yeah.
Yep.
People wouldn't expect that.
Nope.
Yeah. I can't, Gary. I cannot wait until someone actually gives you a good answer to this, because we've had like 3 people on, and like I think
They're
Paul
all- I'm
and Beth
minimalist.
I think Paul McGuff might have said an old banana. That might have been our best answer.
That's right.
It's like he
That's
forgot.
right.
He forgot a
Old banana.
banana one time.
I'll
Yeah.
say-
So far, everyone's just like, yeah, I got nothing, brother.
Stretch
They're
band.
they're hiding
Not
it.
everybody
There's
has a
something in
stretch
there.
band.
Stretch
honestly.
band, warm up band.
But that's like
important.
a great thing to have.
Yeah, it's nice, but not everybody has that.
Do a little of these guys, a little
Yeah.
of these
Mhm.
Yep.
guys while you're waiting. I actually do have one more question here for you. Someone in the chat, they wanted me to ask you if you could elaborate on what you and Gannon were trying to tell the marshal on the tee during the final round.
Oh, yeah. I actually wanted to clear something up on this too, because it made it sound like, I don't know if on the Jomez, I was calling Gannon on the 6th hole or 5th hole of the second round when Gannon was in the bushes. It kind of started the whole thing.
Mm.
I was actually making a point for Gannon in the fact that I called a time extension on myself on hole 1 because I knew it would take time to get behind my disc before I could even throw my shot. That did not mean I wanted to take a long time to throw my shot or abuse the time rule. I simply could not get behind my lie in a reasonable amount of time because it was literally on a wall of vines and branches and I had to step through it and crush through it. So I called a time extension on myself because I didn't know when the clock guy was starting the time, and Gannon told me the day before that he was on one with it. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna need a time extension here. So I used it, and then when he called Gannon on the time extension on hole 5, I was saying like, it's like me on hole 1, it doesn't make sense. Like I called myself like it is like me on hole 1 that I used a time extension to get to my disc. That's not how I feel like the rule should be intended though. The rule should be intended for when you are set behind your disc or at least visualizing your shot. That should take 30
Decision
seconds or
making.
less. Decision making, exactly. But Gannon was trying to be respectful. He wasn't trying to break anything. He was trying to play by the rules. And as soon as he actually got to his lie, he took literally less than 15 seconds to pitch out underneath the basket. But it just took a while for him to even approach his lie. And on that course, it is a difficult course when you kick off into those bushes. I mean, that stuff is thick, even to where you're like, you think it's unplayable, but you really just got to get in there and get poked everywhere and figure out how to not break anything illegally. So I actually started the conversation before the final round on the tee pad. I called the marshal over. I said, hey, can we clear something up on like exactly when the clock starts
I
today,
like that actually.
so that we can clear this up, so that like we're not rushing to try to get behind our lie and then we think we have time and then we get called on something, or we think we're out of time but we actually have a lot more time. Like I didn't know when he was planning on starting and stopping it. So that was the point of that conversation, was just to be like, hey, I think it should start once we start visualizing the shot, once we are in a position to execute something, not while we're trying to get to our disc. Unfortunately, if we have to take a lot of time to get behind our lie, I think that's just the nature of our game, and we got to get behind our disc, and however long that takes is however long that takes. But the timer should start when we actually are, I think, visualizing and looking to make an attempt on our next throw.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good one. All right. Well, Cole, it's been a blast. Appreciate you taking time to hop on and talk to us. We'll give you the floor now. Any sponsors, anyone that you want to thank for your support, now's a great time to do it.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to each and every person who follows me on socials, Cole Redalen on Instagram and just Facebook. You guys are awesome. And thank you to DGA, my sponsor for the last few years. I mean, they've been amazing, worked with me. We're coming out with new discs and things, and I couldn't be happier with their plastic. They've been treating me well the last few years, so please go support them. Foundation Disc Golf, new to the team this year. That's been exciting. Yes, with you, Brody. It's awesome. We're looking for some apparel stuff later this year, which would be dope. And then Pound Disc Golf, bag on my back, a new signature Pound bag releasing this season. Oregon Sports and Family, a chiropractor back home, been working with me ever since the start of my career. It's pretty awesome to have someone.
Do
like
they
them
have the
behind back.
activator? Do they have the activator, Cole?
What activator?
The little it's like a little clicker thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think they do,
Do they have they?
but I've
have,
never used it on me. They've never used it on me.
Dang it!
He's never been activated. He's never been
I want to.
activated.
These videos come up and they're like ASMR videos, And so like I'm just like I'm locked in, but it's just someone walking around being like, "Oh, this is on your L4. Let me just," and they just like do this little thing. I don't think it does anything, but I've never talked to anyone. I've never
Who's
talked to
used
anyone
it.
that has it. So maybe next time you go and be like, "Can you activate me today?"
Okay. Yeah.
And then
I'll
and then come back to me and tell
be
me.
the first thing I ask in a couple weeks when I'm back. Yeah.
Give me
Sounds good.
yeah. And then if you just go
Yeah.
off and start winning every tournament you play, now we know you have to get activated.
Yeah.
Or see
I'll
the
let you know, for
regenerator.
sure. Yeah.
All right, Cole. Well,
Cool.
we
That's it.
appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for hopping on. Best of luck the rest of this season and safe travels wherever you're headed to next.
Congrats,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you guys. Means a lot. Thanks for having me on, and talk to you guys later.
I'll take a
course,
couple
bro.
hundred for the tip too. Yeah, just kidding.
There
Safe
you have
travels to Texas.
Cole
buddy.
Redalen, winner this past weekend out of the Kansas City wide open.
Is it just me or did he age like 10 years mentally since the last time he was on? He seems very mature.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't think he was like immature last time.
No,
he was
not
on,
at all.
But
I'm just
now he
saying,
does
like,
seem like
there's,
he's
like-
not. He seems like he's 30 years old. He's a 30.
Yeah.
It's a Benjamin. We might have like a Benjamin Button situation going on.
something
over
Being
there.
alone in an
No,
RV does that.
great kid, man. I thoroughly enjoyed that interview.
Yeah, that was very cool. All right, what else do we have tonight, boys? Do we just have to do pick 'em real quick? Oh, here we go. I mean, that I cannot lose to a fight. I can't lose to a fight with that guy, right?
He would
No, he would
just
not.
tear
He
you
would
up.
knock me out.
He could beat you with his feet only.
Absolutely knock me out. All right, so we got
Oh, no.
smoked. We got
We got
smoked
smoked.
last week by Grip Locked. They did I don't know what the name of it is. We need to come up with a name of picking Evelina and Henna together, but it worked out well for them. They got 5 of their 6 players getting points. We got 4 of 6 getting points. It just ended up some of our players. I don't know what happened to I'm blanking on her name, Gary.
Win.
No, our tier 4 pick.
Sinja Klitzberga.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened to her because she was like a top 5 situation, looking good, and then
Just
barely.
miss some putts down the stretch.
Okay, fair enough. We're not doing Waco. We're not picking Waco. I'm making an executive decision. No Waco this week. So we'll be back at the next one. But yeah, they chipped away a little bit, boys. We do still have like a 30-point lead, or 20-point lead now, like 22 points.
Yeah.
But they're chipping away.
That cool pick of theirs was pretty clutch.
Let
They
me
picked
roll.
Cole?
Yeah, they got Cole, Gannon,
Wow.
Evelina, and Henna and Kat. And Yuli, literally ever since you were like, dude, Kat's been playing good, she's top 10.
I mean, I've
You
been
saw
saying,
it.
form looks good, man. She's gained distance. I was on the practice field and I asked her, I'm like, hey, what's going on here? You're looking like the old cat. And she's like, I'm just trying to get one more win. That's what she told me. So there's some motivation there.
And she's got confidence too. She's got confidence in her throw. That's a big one. Okay. I got one thing real quick. Thank you, Understable Dave, for sticking around and asking this question again. So I'm going to try to do my best to explain it real fast. If it doesn't make sense, you can literally just Google it, and that might do a better job explaining it. So how going off on hole 1 and hole 10 works is if you only have players go off on hole 1, it takes a very long time for the entire course to get filled, right? So after an hour, no one's on the back 9. Right after an hour and a half, you're getting your first person on the back 9. So it takes a really long time until the entire course is filled. But when you have everyone going off of 1, as soon as someone is basically finishing on 18, you're just constantly having people go off of 1, going off of 1. The way you do 1 and 10 is you have morning tee times and afternoon tee times, or however you could have both in the morning if you're teeing off at 6 o'clock in the morning, let's say. But how you would do it is you would just figure out how long rounds normally last. Out there was what, Yuli? How long were rounds averaging roughly?
9 holes, like an hour. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, that can't be right.
What were they, like 3.5, 4 hours, I think?
4-hour rounds.
Something like
So So if it's taking 4-hour rounds, you probably put in like a half-hour buffer or something. So basically at 6 o'clock, let's just say 6 o'clock in the morning, you have everyone going off of 1 to 10. And then you basically have that until you fill up the entire course. And then from there, they rotate over and then play out. And then once they finish and play out, you have a little bit of buffer, and then you do the same thing for the back. So it's just a way of getting the course filled up quicker than having it just start at 1, because you're wasting all that time where no one's on the course. Does that make, hopefully that makes sense. So you're not getting in a situation, because I know some people are like, well, how would that work? Because then if someone finishes 18, then they go to 1, and then no one else can tee off in 1. You're basically just making it to where the entire course is being filled, is the idea. And you can kind of Google that too if you want to see how that works out. Okay, boys, do we have anything else? I'm looking through chat to see if anything else pops up.
Oh, jeez.
Two streaks came to an end and finished outside the top, and Silva's top 10 streak came to an end.
Oh, she didn't hit top 10.
Yep.
How long was her streak for?
17 events, I think.
Damn.
That I did not know it was that long. That's impressive. I do kind of feel bad. Did we jinx Gannon with asking him about like how long he can stay top 2 at tournaments?
No, he was
like
he was jinxed because the Grip Lock boys picked him.
Oh, fair enough.
But then they picked Cole.
It's true.
That was tough.
It's true.
Tough.
It is.
Tough.
Cole should not be $1. He might have been a $1 player last week. He should not be a $1 player moving forward.
He won't be.
When do we get a new king and queen of the hill? Good question. That will be next week, since we kind of have like a little bit of an off week. That'll be next week.
Yeah.
And has there been any talk about moving groups to threesomes at some point? Yuli, I don't think so, right? No talk of that. All right.
No.
Boys, great show. We went a little bit. Well, I say we went a little bit long, but this is sometimes
the good old days.
Yeah, sometimes par for the course for us over here. Thanks for everyone that stuck around listening.
Hey, throw my Vessi discount up.
Yeah. Do your little Vessi shout out. We haven't done that in a little bit. Go for it.
Vessi, best shoes ever. I went. No, this is true. I'm walking down on Jomez down the fairway of hole 4, the dog leg, right? And then I quoted the last time that I slipped, which was last year on that hole. I remember it like it was yesterday. So all these people who are like, oh, I slip all the time in this. It's form based, bro. Haven't slipped in a year. Now somebody's going to have a collab with me just absolutely slipping.
Eating it.
But that's in a tournament. In a tournament. That's the last time. Right here. Great shoes. Give them
Vessi.com/Yuli. 15% off. Go check
really
it out.
Appreciate them. Yep.
There's nothing more scary than wearing shoes. I don't know if you guys have any pairs of shoes at home that like just have no traction on them, but you kind of forget that they have no traction. And then you're outside and you realize you're on ice skates. There is nothing scarier. And maybe it's just because I've had really bad knee surgeries in the past. That is the scariest thing. I had it happen to me on my walk today. It was a little rainy. I was wearing some old running shoes, and I was coming down a hill, and I was like, why is my foot slipping a little bit here? I don't like that. So yeah. Yuli patches. The people want them. Yuli. I'm getting people saying patches.
I think Ledgestone still has them on their website. So if you want to go to ledgestone.com, you can go through there and find some in stock. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, people love the Yuli patches.
Or discraft.com. Either one of those will probably work to find those.
Yuli, tell Vessi to make wide widths. Okay, now we're talking about shoe sizes. All right, boys. That's where we're wrapping up.
We're done.
Big thanks to our guests, Calvin Heimburg, Cole Redalen, coming on tonight. Congratulations to Cole. Congratulations also to Evelina. We got at some point, Evelina and Hannah, someone that maybe knows them. We got to get them on the podcast. I would love to talk to both of them because there's something to be said about knowing, because they both know. I think I saw someone, I think Evelina like made a pretty funny joke about someone on social media putting. I can't remember where I saw that. Did you guys see that? She made some there. I saw some comment that she's like, oh, maybe I should learn how, or maybe whatever. They both know they're not good putters, and they're both winning tournaments.
Hey, you know what, too?
We got to talk to these people.
We do need to talk. Shout out to Big Germ. Didn't play a lot of tournaments. Wasn't sure he was going to play again on the Pro Tour. He was contemplating.
Questioning?
He was contemplating retirement. I know this from personal experience talking to him.
Wow.
And he comes back this week, plays his first tournament in a long time, and takes 17th. Hats off to my guy over there. That's well done.
I had to
We don't
respond to the
need to
Gavin
we don't need to
Babcock
lose Germ
tweet.
that quick. Come on.
Keep him around. He's probably gonna go out to Waco, right? He's playing Waco.
I think he is. I think
Back
he
to
is.
back,
Yeah.
top 20s potentially.
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
All right, boys. I'm gonna make some pasta. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you all. PJ Mike, thank you. Hey, and shout out to Ruby Falls and the steak and potatoes. Let's
Ruby
one more
Falls,
time.
Ruby.
Can we get steak and
was
potatoes
nice.
one
Yeah.
more time on there?
Beautiful.
Just
There it is.
Just
like
There
somebody
it
got
is.
burnt.
you don't need anything else. Hopefully you guys all fall
Awful.
asleep
That's
with the
like
beautiful
poison ivy or something.
That
beautiful
rock has a good
visual.
antibiotic.
Elephant's foot. That was
Elephant's
another
foot.
one. That was another big one. I will say they have
Chicken
upgraded.
wing.
They have upgraded the signs. The signs do look. I don't know where PJ Mike's at, but he's like on a later. Those are old photos. The
Mike, next
signs
time
have been-
give us a picture of the rock and take the sign out, so we have to get what it is.
Oh, that's a good one. I'll have another one for you guys next week. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.